Ready to tackle that building project? Start right. Start here at H&L Rapid True Value for building supplies. The time by H&L Rapid True Value is
Nationwide time, 5 o'clock.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Shalois Michael.
In Nationwide news at this hour, a record 900 illegal firearms have been seized since the start of the year.
Opposition leader Mark Golding has called for a direct meeting with Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness to find a way forward on constitutional reform.
1 week after he went missing, the search continues for 12-year-old Jaden Smith.
His family and school community are distressed.
Guidance counselors have identified trauma and bullying as the two most pressing issues facing Jamaica's children.
In news from the rest of the world, major developments in a potential peace deal between Hamas and Israel.
Convicted hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been sentenced to more than 4 years in prison.
In headline sports, first cricket test heading for an early finish as India batters West Indies in Ahmedabad.
And later in our broadcast, in the cover story at 5:35, 7 days after the disappearance of 12-year-old Jaden Smith, his classmates at Manchester High are pleading with him to return home. We'll hear from his teachers and the community. Mahiri Stewart, who's in Mandeville today, will join us.
In public opinion at 6:26, we ask, I'm Jamaican and I don't eat. Give us your comments by logging on to our Facebook page, Nationwide News Network, and by tweeting us at Nationwide Radio and message us at WhatsApp at 876-285-5693. You can also leave your comments on Instagram at Nationwide 90FM.
At 7, Hamas says it agrees to some aspects of U.S. President Donald Trump's plan to end the war in Gaza. That includes releasing hostages and handing over administration of the enclave, but that it would seek negotiations on other elements of the plan. You'll hear more. And
at 8, it's the A-Team with Dennis Brooks.
All these and more as we take you home on air on your mobile, Nationwide 90 FM, RevaNews.ai, and on the Reva News app. It's available on the Google Play and the App Store. This Friday afternoon, it's Friday, October 3, 2025.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
And now to the details. More than 900 illegal firearms have been seized since the start of the year. Head of the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division, FNID, Acting Senior Superintendent Patricia Rowe, says the seizures represent a 13% increase when compared to last year's figure.
Since the start of the year, the Jamaica Constabulary Force has seized 937 firearms. This represents 13 or more percent of the total firearms seized last year. Last year we seized 833 for the entire year last year. FNIT effort has led to the seizure of 441 firearms of that number, which amounts to over 47% of the total number of firearms seized.
The majority of the firearms seized by FNID were confiscated at the nation's ports, but the majority of the firearms were seized by members of the JCF through operational efforts. Acting SSP Rowe says based on the current rate, the constabulary force is likely to seize well over 1,000 firearms by the end of the year.
The FNID is expected to see almost 1,000 or more firearms at the end of the year, which is unprecedented, and certainly the rate of seizure currently represents an average of 74 firearms per month by the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
Acting SSP Patricia Rowe, head of FNID.
Meanwhile, Acting SSP Rowe says the police seized a record amount of firearms in May.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force seized 335 firearms in a single month. This represents the largest number of firearms seized in recorded history by the Jamaica Constabulary Force in any 1 year or any 1 month. And of course, this month represents the largest single seizure on May 27, 2025, where 239 firearms were seized by FNID.
Acting SSP Patria Rowe, head of FNID.
Opposition leader Mark Golding has rejected Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness's request that he meet with Justice Minister Delroy Chuck on the way forward on constitutional reform. Instead, Mr. Golding says the matter requires both political leaders to meet face-to-face to find a path forward on the contentious issues. Golding's call came in a letter sent to the Prime Minister today. The letter has been released to the public. Dana Davy tells us more.
In a letter dated October 3, 2025, Golding reminded Holness of his remarks at the recent swearing-in ceremony at King's House, where the Prime Minister urged the opposition to partner in order to achieve abolishing the British monarchy as head of state. Here's the Prime Minister making that appeal.
I recommit to leading an inclusive and consultative government. I extend my hand to the leader of the opposition to create a space for the national interest. Mark, let us partner together to complete the work we started on making Jamaica a republic. I look forward to continuing the work with all stakeholders, the National Partnership Council, the church, unions, youth, the business community, and civil society generally. Let us all work hand in hand to build the progressive and prosperous Jamaica we all want.
Mr. Golding said he welcomed those words, noting that constitutional reform requires genuine collaboration. He says especially important since the government lacks the two-thirds majority in either House of Parliament to make unilateral changes. He cited past examples of bipartisan cooperation, including work between Bruce Golding and Portia Simpson Miller on the Charter of Rights, and historic partnerships between leaders such as Norman Manley and Alexander Bustamante and P.J. Patterson and Edward Seaga. However, Golding expressed disappointment that Holness, in a subsequent letter, directed him to meet with the Minister of Justice, Delroy Chuck, rather than engaging him directly. He argued that such a move undermines the very spirit of partnership Holness had publicly called for. The opposition leader in his letter stated that the Prime Minister's approach will not initiate the required partnership of which they spoke. Golding says it's himself and the Prime Minister, as the leaders of Jamaica's two major political parties, who must establish a basis for the required partnership if the reform process is not to become another exercise in futility. Golding added that given Holness's remarks were made in a public forum, he would also make his response public. The opposition leader's missive was also copied to the Justice Minister. Dana Davy for Nationwide News.
The search for 12-year-old Manchester High student Jaden Smith continued on Friday, 1 week after he first disappeared. Jaden's family, along with police personnel, neighbors, and members of the school community, have been looking for him over the past week. It's reported that he was last seen wearing school uniform, his brown shoes, last Friday evening. It's understood Jaden emptied his savings and bought extra food before he went missing. A teacher at Manchester High School says Jaden's disappearance has caused distress among the school community.
I have done the last session on Friday, and that was the last Friday that I saw him. And during that interaction, he participated very well in class. He was very interactive. He's always disciplined. He's right at the front, so his hands are always up. And of course, he's an intelligent young man. And so it was very surprising when we heard about this. And so now it's really distressing that we're not able to see Jaden in person to find out what is going on, where he is, if he's okay, if he's hungry, if he's lonely, if he's afraid, if he's in danger. It has held the school community at ransom because we just don't know what is going on.
Meanwhile, Jaden's classmates had this message for him. Classmates of missing Manchester High student Jaden Smith. Jaden is of dark complexion, slim built, about 5 feet tall, and hails from Wales in Newport, Manchester.
And Jaden's aunt says she's been receiving threats since the boy's disappearance. Shalois Michael has that story.
Jaden Smith has been described by his teachers and classmates as a bright and kind young man. This is the same description his aunt used to describe him when Nationwide News met her at the family home on Friday. She says ever since her nephew's disappearance, she's been relentlessly harassed on social media, with persons alleging she had been abusing him. She told us that since his disappearance, she's had to turn off her phone due to the number of calls she's been receiving. She says this isn't the case. She says Jaden lived in a loving home. Nationwide News understands that the young boy may have been in trouble after accidentally injuring his younger cousin. However, the aunt says despite that incident, she never threatened Jaden. She says she assured him that he wouldn't be punished. She explained that once she realized Jaden hadn't made it home, she immediately contacted Manchester High Principal Jasford Gabriel. She adds that the savings Jaden left with on Friday was only $2,000. Jaden's aunt says she believes he has not disappeared on his own accord and is instead being led by another person. She told our news center that after graduating from Bethabra Primary and joining Manchester High, he hasn't been the same. Jaden's aunt says she has been unable to eat and sleep since his disappearance. She adds that his disappearance hurts her the most in the mornings, as she's used to him being around to wake her up. Jaden's aunt says she's praying for his safe return. Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
And the man who identifies himself as Jaden's neighbor says based on his observations, the boy grew up in a loving household.
I know his father and I know his guardian. He's a humble youth. He don't really talk much, and majority of the time he was just seen by himself. So basically I just know much about him, but I don't know him as no disruptive person or whatever, being misbehaving or whatever. So just come off strange for saying just miss and now we can't find him. I know him people know them as good people as well, so I just kind of find it strange. They're good people. Good people. Close everything, school, you don't really see no signs of ill treatment.
That's Jaden's neighbor.
The country's guidance counselors have identified trauma and bullying as the two most pressing issues facing children today. It comes amid a deepening national conversation on mental health, especially among youth. President of the Guidance Counselors Association of Jamaica, Leighton Campbell, says cases of bullying often intensify around the first term of the new school year.
Broadly speaking, trauma is a big thing. There are some students who would have expressed that based on where they live, they are exposed to all kinds of violent activities. And then there are some students who just are anxious. In the earlier part of the academic year in September, the first 2-3 weeks, especially for the first formers, there was a little bit of apprehension as to how they're going to make an adjustment. And of course, one of the things that from my years of practicing as a guidance counselor, especially at the beginning of the school term, bullying seemed to be one of those factors that we contend with.
At least 2 children have died by suicide since the start of the 2025-2026 school term. It's understood the victims, a grade 11 and grade 7 student, were both victims of bullying. Another troubling incident involves a 12-year-old Jaden Smith, who has been missing for a week. It's alleged the Manchester High student drained his savings and packed extra food before going missing. While there's no indication that Jaden was living in an abusive or unsafe household, his disappearance highlights the ongoing silent mental health challenges students face. Mr. Campbell says guidance counselors have ramped up their efforts to have more frequent sessions with students.
I do know there are some counselors who have to do some extra sensitization sessions with students about the role of the counselors and to also reiterate the whole matter of confidentiality for them so that when they come to the counselors, they can speak without having any fear that whatever is discussed will be just thrown out or be shared with any and everybody. Because I think there's some apprehension where that is concerned.
Leighton Campbell, President of the Guidance Counselors Association of Jamaica.
You're listening to the news on Nationwide at 5. We'll have more after these.
Annual eye examinations not only assess your vision but may be life-saving. Eye tests may detect serious health issues that go beyond your vision. Call IQ Optical to schedule your comprehensive eye test today.
The time by IQ Optical is
15 minutes after 5.
Rentokil Initial offers air purification solutions with triple filtration and unique auto-sensing capabilities that neutralizes malodor and replaces it with clean air. Call Rentokil Initial at 926-4236 for more details.
The temperature by Rentokil is
29 degrees Celsius in Kingston City, 24 out west in Montego Bay.
Mysterious, magical, mesmerizing. Wouldn't you like to experience the natural beauty of the Northern Lights? You could be the lucky one if you use your cards right. Spend with your Sagicor Bank credit card from September 29 to November 13, 2025, and you could win an all-inclusive cruise vacation for 2 along the Norwegian coast to see the Northern Lights. Chase the Northern Lights with your Sagicor Bank credit card. The more you spend it, the closer you are to your dream adventure. Enjoy the best rewards ever. Conditions apply. Authorized by the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission.
Everybody needs a helping hand, somebody to understand. In the end, we're all human. For people living with HIV, no discrimination. Here to support them through. Respect you as usual. Got to protect them too. One of your friend or your family, somebody in your community. People living with HIV. Protect, accept, and respect people living with HIV. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Continuing the news, the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, the ECJ, is urging candidates who contested the September 3 general election to submit their expense report by October 15. In a statement today, the ECJ says contributors are also required to submit their declarations by the same date. It says all candidates or their agents are required under the Representation of the People Act to submit the return of election expenses within 6 weeks of election day. The report must be submitted on the prescribed form. The ECJ noted that the law limits election expenditure by a candidate, whether independent or representing a registered political party, to a maximum of $15 million. Candidates are also required to submit a declaration of candidate form stating that they have not received contributions from an impermissible contributor. The Commission says submissions should be made to the returning officer for the candidate's constituency or directly to the Director of Elections. The ECJ says it will publish a summary of the declarations after it receives submissions.
Finance Minister Favour Williams is seeking to assure Jamaicans that in time, many of the bottlenecks affecting government procurement will be removed. The Finance Minister was reacting to concerns about the chronic under-expenditure on capital projects.
So that is one thing that should improve the throughput in government, but those changes just recently happened, and we'll see the impact of that as we go forward. Additionally, the amendments allow for better streamlining of emergency procurement as well. If you recall, like last year when we had Beryl and schools were devastated, it took us a little while to work through what we needed to do there in terms of emergency procurement, and coming out of that experience, we've ensured that the amendments reflect true situations of emergencies so persons can act quickly in those scenarios. So.
In its latest statement on fiscal performance, the Independent Fiscal Commission IFC says only about $20 billion of the $40 billion earmarked for major growth-inducing projects so far this fiscal year has been spent. That's a 50% under-expenditure. This follows an underspend of $19 billion in the capital budget for the previous fiscal year and a similar $9 billion shortfall in the year before. However, Minister Williams says her ministry, along with the efforts of Minister without portfolio with responsibility for efficiency, innovation and digital transformation, the government is making steady progress in streamlining and expanding procurement.
So you talk about capacity issues across government. Yes, this is a concern, and so you would have seen the Prime Minister appoint Minister Marks to look at efficiency across government to see what are some of the roadblocks in the way. Is it the approval process? Is it the procurement process? Is it a combination of all of the above? How can we improve the throughput of government, not just on the capital side, but also on the operating side? And that's a project that I know Minister Marks has taken on with gusto, and we are all committed to working with her to ensure that the throughput of government happens in a timely way on behalf of all of us in Jamaica.
Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service.
The militant Palestinian group Hamas has announced that it's willing to immediately enter negotiations for the release of all remaining Israeli hostages held in Gaza. It's a move that could mark the most significant breakthrough in efforts to end the war. The militant group's response is in line with President Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan, which has been struggling to gain traction over months of failed attempts at brokering a ceasefire. That should be after months. In a further surprise, Hamas declared not only its readiness to negotiate through mediators, but also its willingness to hand over governance of Gaza to a Palestinian authority of independent technocrats formed on the basis of national consensus and supported by Arab and Islamic states.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose assembly and supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology and integrity.
The World in a Minute.
U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says he ordered another strike on a small boat he accused of carrying drugs in the waters of Venezuela. This after the Trump administration declared on Thursday that the U.S. is in armed conflict with drug cartels. In a post on social media, Hegseth asserted that the vessel was trafficking narcotics and those aboard were narcotic terrorists. He said the strike killed 4 men but offered no further details.
Convicted music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been sentenced to 50 months or just over 4 years in prison. Sean Combs was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. He was acquitted of the more serious sex trafficking and racketeering charges that would have carried potential life sentences during his landmark federal case in July. Addressing the court today before his sentencing, Combs described his actions as disgusting, shameful, and sick. He said he had taken full responsibility and accountability as he appealed for leniency. Earlier in the day, his children also tearfully pleaded with the judge not to take their father away. Prosecutors had asked for a sentence of more than 11 years, while the defense had argued Combs should get no more than 14 months. But the judge said the court is not assured that if Combs was released, that the crimes would not be committed again.
World in a Minute was brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose assembly and supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology and integrity.
Recapping the top stories making nationwide news at this hour, a record 900 illegal firearms have been seized since the start of the year.
Opposition leader Mark Golding has called for a direct meeting with Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness to find a way forward on constitutional reform.
1 week after he went missing, the search continues for 12-year-old Jaden Smith.
His family and school community are distressed.
I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Shalois Michael.
You can find the news on our website at rivanews.ai and on the Riva News app. It's available on the Google Play and the App Store. News next, the headlines at 6.
Public opinions. Stop this foolish about this GLP and PMP business. We are Jamaican. Different people.
It's not a matter of a GLP or a PMP. I think it's more like where it is that you think you're comfortable, what support you can afford to make the country better.
Different views.
Most entertainers, they're not amenable to management, so the only thing that can ultimately structure them is the court and the prison.
Public Opinion, the voice of the people, at 6:25 p.m. weekdays during Nationwide at 5. Tune into Nationwide at 6:25 p.m. for Public Opinion, where the people's views matter.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, industrial automation and control solutions.
Sports at 5 is brought to you by Total Tools. Total Tools, every tool, every trade.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. Vice captain of the West Indies Test team, Jomel Warkan, is urging discipline in the field as they prepare for a grueling third day of the first test against India in Ahmedabad at 11 p.m. Jamaica time. India closes second day in a position of command, 448 for 5, an overall lead of 286. Ravi Jadeja is not out on 103, one of 3 men to score centuries for India. Dhruv Jurel cracked 125, while opener K.L. Rahul, who was 58 overnight, went on to bag an even 100. Captain Ruston Chase claimed 2 wickets, while there was one apiece for Jaden Seals, Kerry Pear, and Warkan himself. Warkan says the team has to be switched on constantly in the field.
Our first innings total was not a big one, so we have to be extremely disciplined as a bowling unit, and we got to stick to our plans as long as possible, and also just continue encouraging and be positive. Try to find a method to get wickets, but don't over attack or go looking too much. So we as a team or as a bowling unit know that we have to be extremely disciplined, put the ball in good areas, and take the chances when they come.
The West Indies were dismissed for 162 in the first innings, and Warwick admits there can't be a repeat of that in the second innings.
Obviously, we have to improve our first innings total of that low target. We need to put more runs on the board, so we as a batting unit got to come together and find a way to score more runs, especially in the second innings. That's
Vice Captain of the West Indies Test team, Jomel Warkan. Wolmer's clobbered Dunoon Tech 8-0 in action from the Issa Digital Manning Cup football competition on Friday. And here are some latest scores in other games. St. Andrew Tech were leading Greater Portmore 9-0. Jamaica College and Vauxhall were 1-1. Mona held a 4-0 advantage over Hillel Academy, and the Spanish Town and Camperdown were goalless. Jamaica squad for the October window of CONCACAF World Cup qualifying football will be known on Saturday. The Jamaica Football Federation has called a press conference at its offices in New Kingston for 11 o'clock tomorrow morning for the official release of the squad that will face crucial games against Curacao in Willemstad next Friday and in Kingston against Bermuda 4 days later. Jamaica at the top of the 4-team group with maximum points from 2 games and will close in on early qualification should they remain perfect after the next 2 matches. Trinidad and Tobago will face Bermuda next Friday and can move to 4 points with a victory, while Curacao on 4 points can leapfrog Jamaica and move to the summit of the group should they win. Only the group winner will gain automatic qualification to the next World Cup finals. That's next year, to be jointly staged in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Bournemouth are top of, they came from behind to move up to second place in the English Premier League standings, a point behind champions Liverpool, after coming from a goal down to beat Fulham by 3-1 at the Vitality on Friday. Ghanaian star Antoine Semenyo scored a pair of brilliant goals, sandwiched by one from Julian Kluivert to render Ryan Sessegnon's opener for Fulham a mere consolation.
Chukwueze sliding it in and put in by Sessegnon. A sharp 1-2 and the first sight tonight of the Green Machine in full working order. Semenyo to ask the questions of Castagna. He's breezed away from him. Semenyo! What a goal! And we're all square, 1-1. Kluivert, this is suddenly end-to-end, isn't it? Kluivert for Bournemouth. Kluivert! Another astonishing Bournemouth goal. Gannon-Doak, here they come. Semenyo! To finish it, the cherries high in the Premier League tree tonight. They are up into seconds.
The Premier League continues this weekend with a full schedule of games highlighted by the pick of the bunch at Stamford Bridge tomorrow. It's the champions and leaders Liverpool against the World Club champions Chelsea. Organizers of the internationally acclaimed Reggae Marathon announced a landmark development at their recent media launch. Jamaica's premier road race will celebrate its 25th anniversary with a historic first staging in Kingston. The event, traditionally held in the Grill, will unfold in the capital city on December 7 in a bold and symbolic shift that also marks the 30th anniversary of its founding organization, the Jam Dammers Running Club. The 2025 edition will feature World Athletics certified courses in the half marathon, 10K and 5K, guiding participants through iconic Kingston landmarks such as the National Gallery, Supreme Court, and the Water Lane artwork before finishing at the scenic waterfront. Known for drawing runners from over 25 countries annually, the Reggae Marathon has become a bucket list event for elite and recreational athletes alike. The 2025 staging is expected to attract strong representation from Jamaica, the USA, Canada, the UK, Europe, and Japan. The newly introduced 5K, launched in 2024, will continue to appeal to corporate teams and first-time runners seeking an immersive, festive experience. And that will do it for sports. We're going to be back, though, at 6:05 with much more.
Sports at 5 was brought to you by Total Tools. Total Tools, every tool, every trade.
Cubby's Baby Wipes is ideal for your baby's delicate skin, infused with vitamin E and aloe vera, and available for home or on the go. The time by Cubby's Baby Wipes is
5:30.
From Kingston to the world, from Montego Bay to new adventures, and from Ocherias to endless possibilities. Wherever you're headed, we will proudly take you there. Jamaica's airport, your global gateway. The temperature brought to you by the Airports Authority of Jamaica is
29 degrees Celsius here in the nation's capital, Kingston. It's 25 in the western city, Montego Bay.
MSME operators, the NWC MSME Amnesty is a lifeline. Grab it. Apply between September 1 and November 30, 2025. Visit nwcjamaica.com. Email us at customercare@nwc.com.jm. You can also visit any commercial office or dial 888-NWC. Get a 50% debt write-off on your small commercial account if you pay all other outstanding debt.
Hey, did you hear? JUTC just launched Rural Express routes.
Really? Where to?
Travel to and from Kingston with direct routes to Ocherias, Montego Bay, Negril, Mandeville, Maypen, and coming soon, Port Antonio.
Wow, that sounds convenient, but must be pricey.
Not at all. Special introductory fare just $2,000. Except for Maypen, that's just $1,500. The JUTC Rural Express is here. Your ticket to comfort, connection, and convenience at a price that fits your budget. Whether it's family, school, or a weekend getaway, travel to Jamaica's top destinations with ease and enjoy a smooth, stress-free ride. Visit our social media at JUTC Ltd or log on to www.jutc.gov.jm for schedules.
MSME operators, the NWC MSME Amnesty is a lifeline. Grab it. Apply between September 1 and November 30, 2025. Visit nwcjamaica.com. Email us at customercare@nwc.com.jm. You can also visit any commercial office or dial 888-NWC. Get a 50% debt write-off on your small commercial account if you pay all other outstanding debt.
If it's in the public's interest, it's the nation's business during Nationwide at 5. The nation's business.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me. Let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax.
relax and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Those oldies but goodies reminds me of you.
News on the go. The latest stories from Jamaica and around the world are literally a finger tap away. Keep up to date with Teen Revolution 24 hours a day online via nationwideradiojm.com. Listen live, read the latest stories, hear every soundbite. Be a part of the vibrant online debate via Facebook and Twitter. Now you can get all your favorite premium nationwide content at your convenience. Visit the Android Play Store and download it for free today. NationwideRadioJM.com. All day, every day. Team Revolution.
The Judiciary of Jamaica is bringing the courts to you. The Public Education Day kicks off on Wednesday, October 8, 2025 at the St. Anne Family Court starting at 9 a.m. Then stay tuned as Cliff Hughes Online broadcasts live from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. under the theme, Your Court, Your Voice, Building Trust Through Knowledge. Students and residents are invited to discover the free services your courts provide. On-site support will also be available from the Ministry of Justice, the TAJ, RGD, CPFSA, Jamaica Customs Agency, NIS and PAC, Hard Trust NSTA, Restorative Justice, and other key partners. Don't miss this chance to learn, engage, and access essential services all in one place. So tune in to Cliff Hughes Online, Wednesday, October 8, 2025 at the St. Anne Family Court. It's the Public Education Day. Catch us live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2 or stay tuned to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Judiciary of Jamaica, a world-class judiciary utilizing innovation and technology for efficient service delivery.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide at 5. It's time for the cover story. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Professor Donna Hope.
Reunited and it feels so good.
I'm back in studio, guys. I am back in studio and I'm with Ricardo.
How are you,
the one Brooks. I'm lovely. I'm happy to be here, even though, boy, the traffic in Kingston is so going on. But I don't know if people manage this traffic. I don't know. But one day we will figure ways out of it.
We need a flexi work arrangement.
No, we also need to learn to carpool. No.
Work from home arrangement.
We need to learn to carpool, and we do need the flexi work arrangement. So. Yeah. Pack up in the car them and take your time, come in smaller numbers, yes. But we see around that. Let's go to cover story.
Serious matters. Jaden Smith is still missing. The search for the 12-year-old boy continues a week after he first went missing. His family, along with police personnel, neighbors, and members of the school community, they've been looking for him now for a week.
It's reported that he was last seen leaving school wearing his khaki uniform and brown shoes last Friday evening. It's also understood that Jaden emptied his savings and bought extra food when he went missing. A teacher at Manchester High School says Jaden's disappearance has caused distress among the school community, and she spoke with our Mahiri Stewart on Friday.
Of Jaden as a student, a couple of teachers are telling me that he's always a child that sits in the front of the class and he's very attentive. How is he as a student?
All right, so he's a good student, and Friday evening I have them the last session on Friday, and that was the last Friday that I saw him. And during that interaction, he participated very well in class. He was very interactive. He's always disciplined. He's right at the front, so his hands are always up. And of course, he's an intelligent young man. And so it was very surprising when we heard about this. And so now it's really distressing that we are not able to see Jaden in person to find out what is going on, where he is, if he's okay, if he's hungry, if he's lonely, if he's afraid, if he's in danger. And so that is what has had the school community it has held the school community at ransom because we just don't know what is going on. And to see many of us as staff members are fathers and mothers ourselves, and these are children under our care. And so when we see a child missing, it's like one of our own. So Jaden, wherever you are, we just hope that you are safe, and please just come home to us as quickly as you can. All right? All right.
A teacher there at Manchester High, and Jaden's classmates had a message for him. His classmates there at Manchester High, his form teacher, Nikisha Thompson McLean, says on the day he disappeared, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. All right, so that video there, we're supposed to bring a video of...
Yeah, because the students is a video that was
Nikisha
actually...
Thompson McLean, his form teacher.
Yes, the videos. But wasn't the video showing?
Yeah, I was hearing it, yeah.
Yes, it was.
We're supposed to be playing for you a video from Jaden's form teacher, Nikisha Thompson McLean, but apparently the audio on that video is not good. All right, so here's Shalois Michael's report on what Jaden's aunt had to say. Not
Jaden
good.
Smith
so
has been described by his teachers and classmates as a bright and kind young man. This is the same description his aunt used to describe him when Nationwide News met her at the family home on Friday. She says ever since her nephew's disappearance, she's been relentlessly harassed on social media, with persons alleging she had been abusing him. She told us that since his disappearance, she's had to turn off her phone due to the number of calls she's been receiving. She says this isn't the case. She says Jaden lived in a loving home. Nationwide News understands that the young boy may have been in trouble after accidentally injuring his younger cousin. However, the aunt says despite that incident, she never threatened Jaden. She says she assured him that he wouldn't be punished. She explained that once she realized Jaden hadn't made it home, she immediately contacted Manchester High principal Jasford Gabriel. She adds that the savings Jaden left with on Friday was only $2,000. Jaden's aunt says she believes he has not disappeared on his own accord and is instead being led by another person. She told her news center that after graduating from Bethabra Primary and joining Manchester High, he hasn't been the same. Jaden's aunt says she has been unable to eat and sleep since his disappearance. She adds that his disappearance hurts her the most in the mornings, as she's used to him being around to wake her up. Jaden's aunt says she's praying for his safe return. Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Shaloy. And Mahiri Stewart, our reporter here, was in Manchester today. He is in Manchester still. Mahiri, good afternoon.
Hi, Mahiri. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ricardo. Good afternoon, Professor Hope. And good afternoon, Jamaica.
Tell us, when you went to school, you went to the primary school and then you went to Manchester High. What was the mood?
The mood was very, very somber at Bethabra in particular. Mm-hmm. And I think that's because he was at Bethabra from grade 1 to 6 compared to Manchester High, where he's pretty new. He's a first form student. He's only been there for a couple of months. But Bethabra, I kind of want to hammer home that point. It's a shame that we can't get the audio up because the vice principal was probably the most emotional person I've spoken to all day in terms of Jaden's disappearance. She was just recounting, calling him a brilliant young man, just showing me all kinds of pictures of him with certificates and pictures of him with Favour Williams when Favour was education minister, and she was just waxing lyrical about the young man. Just she couldn't believe it, and I don't know if maybe you could show the video, even without the audio. At the end of the interview, she was so overcome with emotion, she cried in my arms. Just recounting Jaden, she said she's unable to function properly. You could tell that the staff at Bessabra really saw Jaden as a son more than a student. He was a son of Bessabra Primary School, so the primary school is definitely taking it to heart, but that's to also say the high school is also quite affected. I mean, I spoke to Principal Gabriel, who was on Nationwide last night. I spoke to his form teacher, as they heard a while ago. Maybe some people weren't able to hear that part, but this class, he sits right at the front of the class, so it's that much more evident that he's not there. He's right at the front left seat in the class. That's his seat, right in front of the form teacher. So his absence it rings out in the whole classroom. It's too obvious when you go in there that he's there.
Well, Mahiri, thank you for that. But in a lot of ways, you have been talking with persons who know Jaden for quite some time. Is there any optimism around the conversation? Because we have been hearing reports of various sightings, but so far no one has been able to confirm any contact with him. Are they still optimistic in terms of their search for him?
Yeah, it is a very optimistic search. There's nobody speaking in a manner as if he's passed or he's died. People are speaking about him as if he's still out there, and I think a lot of that has to do with the reported sighting of him on Wednesday. Yes. And even when we visited his classroom today, when we were about to leave, one of his classmates came to us and said, "Yes, I was one of the persons that saw Jaden the same night that it was reported he was seen," and she said she recalled seeing the men chasing after him, and she was there. She saw Jaden running away. So I think because of that sighting, a lot of people are convinced that he's still around the area, he's hiding out somewhere. And to back up that point, the vice principal, Rita Evans, she was saying that based on how Jaden is, he's a boy that responds to soft voices, he's not somebody that responds well to aggression. So maybe it is a case where the manner in which they raised the alarm when they saw him Wednesday is what scared him off. And it could be that had they done it in a different manner, he would have been more willing to come. But the vice principal is adamant that Jaden is safe, and she believes that Jaden will return when he's good and ready.
And if you're on YouTube, you're seeing a picture here of young Jaden with the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education, Dr. Kassan Troop. And before we saw Mahiri, we saw that video of you hugging the vice principal at his primary school. We're talking to Mahiri Stewart. He went to Manchester today in search of Jaden Smith. Soon come.
Protecting your personal data is a priority for the Jamaica Customs Agency. We urge you to use the agency's official platforms to conduct your business. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
5:47.
Birdshot fried chicken always ready. Birdshot, original crispy. Birdshot, Cajun spicy. Birdshot, a barbecue. Birdshot, we are go a Birdshot.
The temperature brought to you by Birdshot Fried Chicken in Montego Bay and Ocho Rios is
29 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay. It's 25 cool in Ocho Rios.
Enough power tool, big to small. Jack on my figure, dig the wall.
Up a Total Tools.
Feed back a figure, trim the lawn. We have everything a job demand.
Total Tools.
We rent them, sell them, and fix them. Also give Total Tools a call. When I say home improvement, landscape construction, a Total Tools are your option. Home improvement, landscape construction, Total Tools are your option.
Total Tools, located at 102 Main Street, Ocho Rios, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston.
And lot C6 Jacksaw, St. Anne's Bay. Call us today.
MSME operators, the NWC MSME Amnesty is a lifeline. Grab it. Apply between September 1 and November 30, 2025. Visit nwcjamaica.com. Email us at customercare@nwc.com.jm. You can also visit any commercial office or dial 888-NWC. Get a 50% debt write-off on your small commercial account if you pay all other outstanding debts or sign a payment agreement to do so in 3 months. Apply today.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. We're discussing it's now 7 days since 12-year-old Jaden Smith went missing in Manchester, and Mahiri Stewart has been in the parish speaking to his friends, his relatives, his teachers.
Yes.
Just to say, we did reach out to the police. The police have advised us that they have no new information. The search continues, so we are giving you a sense of what those closest to this 12-year-old boy who inexplicably has gone missing, and what we heard from his principal last evening was that he had taken all his savings. We now know that that amounts to about $2,000. He had bought extra food on Friday evening. He ate more than usual on Friday. And so far he has been spotted, but he runs, and he has run.
Yes.
He ran instead of going with
the adults,
the
with
adults.
the search party.
As to why that is, we don't know. Mahiri Stewart, you also went to his house today. Mahiri?
Is Mahiri still with us?
No.
I see people asking questions about using search dogs, but again, because of the suggestions from his teachers, people who know him, that he responds to softness and less aggression, suggestions like those are not useful. But I also believe that Jaden is probably maybe not hearing some of these calls. He's probably not listening, to the radio or so, but hopefully people who may have contact with him, if they do, can remind him that, the entire island, people all over Jamaica are concerned about his safety, and that he could return home, because whatever it is that is stopping him from returning home, now is a good time to repair the breach, and he will be protected, because there seems to be something that is preventing him, Ricardo, from returning home, since it sounds as if his move last week Friday was a planned and executed shift from home.
And he's clearly a remarkable student,
Brilliant
Prof, because
young man.
I have been looking at some of the pictures that was shared with Mahiri by his friends.
Yes,
he's in pictures with the then Education Minister Favour Williams,
and with
he's in pictures with the permanent secretary. Not many people can say they've taken a picture with the permanent secretary at that age.
Right.
He has pictures with multiple, I don't know if Dana has those, when he has the multiple certificates. So clearly, bright boy.
He's in Jamaica and bright bad.
Right.
Yes.
Top school in Manchester, Manchester High, placed there. So, his behavior doesn't seem in line with a student who has been doing so well. He doesn't seem troubled at all. Mahiri?
Yes, is Mahiri back with us? Yes, Mahiri.
Yeah. So you went to his house today, to Jaden's house, and tell us you had a conversation with his aunt.
I did have a conversation with his aunt, and honestly, to be completely honest with you, I'm not getting the allegations of abuse. They're not registering to me, because when I'm visiting the aunt, when I'm speaking to the neighbors, when I'm speaking to the people in the community, I'm not getting any reports of this happened, and maybe it's because of this that happened at home. Everyone I've spoken to has insisted that Jaden is growing up in a loving household, and that's what his aunt has been saying. And his aunt says that it has been difficult for her because on top of losing Jaden, he has been relentlessly harassed. People have been spreading rumors saying that she's been abusing the boy, and she's just in a state of, she genuinely looked tired. I think that's the best way I could explain it to her. She was very tired when I saw her. She looked like an exhausted woman, an emotionally drained woman. And honestly, you can't help but feel for somebody. I mean, I went to the house. She had some goats tied up. She says Jaden used to be the best friends of the goats. Yeah, she said Jaden was always the one tying them up, and you'd hear it in the rap. But she said that the mornings for her are the hardest part, because she says Jaden's an early person. He's a morning person, so by 5:30 he'd be up. And when she wakes up in the morning and doesn't have that presence in the house, she feels it. So she may not be the most emotional up front, but I think she's drained of her emotions. I think she's had such a week that she's kind of just on autopilot right now, and it's obvious. I mean, when we're speaking to her, her phone still pinging, but she wasn't answering it. She says she's just been relentlessly called, and the reason she wasn't even willing to speak with me on the record, but still okay with me reporting what she told me, is that she doesn't even want people to hear her voice anymore. She's afraid to go out. She says she's afraid to go out to look for Jaden because she's afraid people are going to see that she's the aunt and then start yelling at her, saying, why did this to the boy, why did that to the boy, when she knows in her heart, according to her, that that's not the case and that she's raised him quite well.
But Mahiri, one of the questions, because you talk about the exhaustion that the aunt is showing, which is normal in homes where people go missing. What kind of support systems are around that family unit right now that you see? Are there any support systems around the family?
Well, based on what she told me, her immediate family isn't around this area. She spoke of a relative that oversees I believe the mother of the cousin at the center of that little controversy in terms of the child being injured. The mother of that child is abroad. So there's not many people in the house. It's a 4-person household. It's Jaden's aunt, her partner, Jaden, and the young boy, the other cousin. So without them being there, the cousin, Demar. So without Jaden being there, it's pretty much an empty household right now, and I think that's probably contributing a lot to it. The neighbors seem very supportive. None of them seem to be pointing fingers at the aunt or the household. All the reports that we've gotten from them are saying that Jaden was raised quite well. And it's echoed by the teachers. It's echoed by the principal from the Beth Abra Primary that's known Jaden for 6 years of his life. So there's nothing that's connecting this.
Let me ask you, Mahiri, how is it a remote area where he lives?
It is quite a remote area. We had to do a lot of driving, a lot of walking. At one point, we had to abandon the vehicle in order to get to Jaden's house based on the road structure. So, for him to get to school in the mornings, it does require a lot of walking. I don't know how the transportation works for him in the morning, but based on how we had to get there, it is certainly not any area that is easily accessible. You have to know where you're going to find his house.
Were you able to find out the whereabouts of his parents? Because I noticed we've always been talking about his aunt. Do you know where his parents are?
Yes, I understand that Jaden is adopted. Based on the conversations I had today, I don't have anything in terms of his parents, but I know for a fact that his aunt is his primary caregiver.
She's his biological aunt.
Right.
Okay, because people have been asking questions as to where are his parents, and I did read a report at one point that I think they had made contact at one point with his mother to see if he was there, but I can't confirm that, but I do think I saw a report in another newspaper. But we are hoping that Jaden, wherever Jaden is, he is safe. But if it's a remote area, difficult to access, then it means, Ricardo and Mahiri, that he can be hiding all over the place and difficult to see or find if he doesn't want to be seen or to be found.
All right, and based on what we've been told by the police so far and his principal, Jasper Gabriel, the search has been concentrated on areas where he has been spotted. I beg your pardon, because he has been spotted now multiple times over the last 7 days, of course, most recently on Wednesday. Yes.
You guys can hear me. But if I could just add, Newport, quite far from Manchester and Wesley Road and the places that he was last seen. So I don't know if people are out there alleging that maybe he's around the area he lives, but based on how far it is, I'm ruling that out completely.
So the last update we got, 50 police officers involved in the search, over 100 students from Manchester High, members of the community, all finding out.
Is the Jamaica Defence Force involved as yet?
We have not gotten that information.
But people are asking if the JDF is involved and if the helicopter searches have started, because
we haven't
gotten any reports to that as yet.
So So. Can we play again his classmates? It's in the script, the message from his classmates. His principal had an appeal for him, yesterday, telling him that, he should come home and he would not be in any trouble at all. Let's end with his classmates.
Yes.
Come home, Jaden! We miss you!
Yeah. Obviously a bright boy.
Well loved at school.
Yeah.
well loved in his community, a young man with a bright future ahead of him. And we are really hoping, Ricardo, listeners, YouTubers, that Jaden Smith returns home and the air is cleared and he can continue with his education and with his life. Yes, indeed.
All right, that's the cover story. The headlines are next.
The time brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy is
6 o'clock.
Nationwide headlines at 6.
Good evening with the headlines at 6. I'm Shalois Michael. More than 900 illegal firearms have been seized since the start of the year. Head of the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division, FNID, Acting Senior Superintendent Patri Rowe, says the seizures represent a 13% increase when compared to last year's figure.
Since the start of the year, the Jamaica Constabulary Force has seized 937 firearms. This represents 13 or more percent of the total firearms seized last year. Last year, we seized 833 for the entire year last year. FNIT effort has led to the seizure of 441 firearms. Of that number, which amounts to over 47% of the total number of firearms seized.
FNID says the majority of its seizures have been concentrated at the nation's ports. Acting SSP Rose says based on the current rate, the police are likely to seize well over 1,000 firearms by year end.
The FNID is expected to see almost 1,000 or more firearms at the end of the year, which is unprecedented, and certainly the rate of seizure currently represents an average of 74 firearms per month by the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
Meanwhile, Acting SSP Rose says there was a record number of firearm seizures in May.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force seized 335 firearms in a single month. This represents the largest number of firearms seized in recorded history by the Jamaica Constabulary Force in any 1 year or any 1 month. And of course, this month represents the largest single seizure on May 27, 2025, where 239 firearms were seized by FNID.
Acting SSP Patri Rowe, head of FNID. The search for 12-year-old Manchester High student Jaden Smith continued on Friday, 1 week after he first went missing. Jaden's family, along with the police, neighbors, and members of his school community, have been searching for him over the past week. A teacher at Manchester High says Jaden's disappearance has caused distress for the entire school community.
I have them the last session on Friday, and that was the last Friday that I saw him. And during that interaction, he participated very well in class. He was very interactive. He's always disciplined. He's right at the front, so his hands are always up. And of course, he's an intelligent young man. And so it was very surprising when we heard about this. And so now it's really distressing that we are not able to see Jaden in person to find out what is going on, where he is, if he's okay, if he's hungry, if he's lonely, if he's afraid, if he's in danger. It has held this school community at ransom because we just don't know what is going on.
Teacher at Manchester High. And a man who identifies himself as Jaden's neighbor says based on his observations, the child grew up in a loving home.
I know his father and I know his guardian. He's a humble youth. He don't really talk much, and majority of the time he was just seen by himself. So basically I just know much about him, but I don't know him as no disruptive person or whatever, being misbehaving or whatever. So just come off strange for saying just miss and now we can't find him. Knowing people, know them as good people as well, so I just kind of find it strange. They're good people. Good people. Close everything, school, you don't really see no signs of ill treatment.
Jaden's neighbor. The country's guidance counselors have identified trauma and bullying as two of the most pressing issues facing Jamaica's children. It comes amid a deepening national conversation on mental health, especially among youth. Leighton Campbell is the president of the Guidance Counselors Association of Jamaica.
Broadly speaking, trauma is a big thing. There are some students who would have expressed that based on where they live, they are exposed to all kinds of violent activities. And then there are some students who just are anxious. In the earlier part of the academic year in September, the first 2-3 weeks, especially for the first formers, there was a little bit of apprehension as to how they're going to make an adjustment. And of course, one of the things that from my years of practicing as a guidance counselor, especially at the beginning of the school term, bullying seemed to be one of those factors that we contend with.
At least 2 children have died by suicide since the start of the 2025-2026 school term. It's understood the boys, a grade 11 and grade 7 student, were both victims of bullying. Mr. Campbell says guidance counselors have ramped up their efforts to have more frequent sessions with students.
I do know there are some counselors who have to do some extra sensitization sessions with students about the role of the counselors and to also reiterate the whole matter of confidentiality for them so that when they come to the counselors, they can speak without having any fear that whatever is discussed will be just thrown out or be shared with any and everybody. Because I think there's some apprehension where that is concerned.
Leighton Campbell, president of the Guidance Counselors Association of Jamaica. Finance Minister Favour Williams is seeking to assure Jamaicans that many of the bottlenecks affecting government procurement will soon be removed. The minister was reacting to concerns about the chronic under-expenditure on capital projects.
So that is one thing that should improve the throughput in government, but those changes just recently happened, and we'll see the impact of that as we go forward. Additionally, the amendments allow for better streamlining of emergency procurement as well. If you recall, like last year when we had Beryl and schools were devastated, it took us a little while to work through what we needed to do there in terms of emergency procurement, and coming out of that experience, we've ensured that the amendments reflect true situations of emergencies so persons can act quickly in those scenarios.
Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service. Those were the headlines at 6. I'm Shaloy Smichael. Sports is next.
Is your money idling when it could be thriving? With CIBC Caribbean's fixed deposit offering, you can take charge of your cash. With 50,000 Jamaican to start, choose terms from 30 days to 2 years. Lock in your funds and enjoy premium rates guaranteed to grow your wealth. Whether you're eyeing short or long-term gains, our fixed deposit accounts puts you firmly in control of your money. Now is the time to open a CIBC fixed deposit account and start earning more today. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Public opinion.
Stop this foolish about this GLP and PMP business. We are a Jamaican.
Different people.
It's not a matter of a GLP or a PMP. I think it's more like where it is that you think you're comfortable, what support you can afford to make the country better.
Different views.
Most entertainers, they're not amenable to management, so the only thing that can ultimately structure them is the court and the prison.
Public opinion. The voice of the people at 6:25 p.m. weekdays during Nationwide at 5. Tune into Nationwide at 6:25 p.m. for Public Opinion, where the people's views matter.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Good evening with your sports report. I am Alex Reddy.
And I'm Oreen Buchanan.
We bowl things off with some cricket as vice captain of the West Indies Test team, Jamel Warrican, is urging discipline in the field as they prepare for a grueling third day of the first test against India in Ahmedabad at 11 p.m. Jamaica time. India closed the second day in a position of command on 448 for 5, an overall lead of 286. Ravi Jadeda is not out on 103, one of 3 men to score centuries for India. Dhruv Jurel cracked 125, while opener KL Rahul who was 58 overnight, went on to bag an even 100. Captain Ruston Chase claimed 2 wickets, while there was 1 apiece for Jaden Seals, Kiri Perrier and Warrican. Warrican says the team has to be switched on constantly in the field.
Our first innings total was not a big one, so we have to be extremely disciplined as a bowling unit, and we got to stick to our plans as long as possible, and also just continue encouraging and be positive. Try to find a method to get wickets, but don't over attack or go looking too much. So we as a team or as a bowling unit know that we have to be extremely disciplined, put the ball in good areas, and take the chances when they come.
The Windies were dismissed for 162 in the first innings, and Warrican admits there can't be a repeat of that in the second innings.
Obviously, we have to improve our first innings total of that low target. We need to put more runs on the board, so we as a batting unit got to come together and find a way to score more runs, especially in the second innings.
Jamel Warrican.
Sticking with cricketers, Miles Bascom, director of cricket at Cricket West Indies, says the recent T20 series against Nepal was part of the board's continued effort to expose the region's emerging talent. The West Indies, which featured a number of inexperienced players, struggled against the Nepalese spin bowlers. They lost the first 2 games but avoided a series sweep, winning the final game impressively by 10 wickets.
Well, the Nepal series has always been earmarked as an opportunity for exposure for emerging talent. We always knew that turnaround time would have been a challenge. They pretty much had 1 day to acclimatize and 1 practice session going into that series. And in a very short tournament of 3 matches, if you're not off the ground running from match 1, you can very well find yourself behind the 8 ball, as we did.
Bascom says despite the series loss, there were several encouraging signs from a West Indies standpoint.
I think that series, albeit a very disappointing loss, we were still able to identify some options. We have seen some players that have come all the way from the breakout league all the way through now into international T20 cricket and have shown that they may have what it takes to make the step up to the international level. We still need to be able to expose our players and give them that opportunity to shine in challenging conditions.
Miles Bascom, director of cricket at Cricket West Indies.
Now to netball, as president of the Jamaica Olympic Association, JOA, Christopher Samuda, has expressed strong support for World Netball's global campaign to have the sport included in the Olympic Games Brisbane 2032. The campaign, titled Back the Bid, It's Netball's Time, was recently launched by World Netball, calling on players, participants, fans and the national federations to unite in signing a global pledge to support netball's Olympic inclusion. Samuda welcomed the initiative, describing it as a timely and deserving movement.
As the sport has the historical credentials and is certainly absolutely gaining continental traction, the 2026 Commonwealth Games provides an opportunity to demonstrate the sport's media and broadcast value beyond the Commonwealth and onto the world stage. Commercial viability and media broadcast value must therefore be high on the agenda of the advocates, as they are practical drivers of revenue generation and global engagement, both of which will appeal to Olympic investors and decision makers.
Jamaica has long been a dominant force in international netball, with the Sunshine Girls consistently ranked among the top teams in the world. Samuda believes this global presence, along with the sport's increasing popularity and structure, makes a strong case for inclusion.
Jamaica has a rich history of achievements in the sport, but self-enlightened interest is not compelling the support of the Jamaica Olympic Association. We are really of the view that netball has earned an interview, and its curriculum vitae is persuasive in giving it a competitive seat at the table. A missed opportunity came in 2012 for the sport at the London Olympic Games, and World Netball cannot afford Brisbane to sail out of the harbour with it not on board. It will be cost.
Christopher Samuda.
Now to football, as Wolmer's Club of Dunoon Technical 8-0 in action from the Issa Digicel Manning Cup football competition on Friday. In other games, St Andrew Technical crushed Greater Portmore 9-0, Jamaica College and Vauxhall ended 1-1, while Mona turned back Hillel Academy 4-0. Jamaica's squad for the October window of the CONCACAF World Cup qualifying football will be known on Saturday. The Jamaica Football Federation has called a press conference at its offices in New Kingston at 11 a.m. for the official release of the squad that will face crucial games against Curaçao in Williamstead next Friday and in Kingston against Bermuda 4 days later. Jamaica at the top of the 4-team group with maximum 6 points from their 2 games and will close in on early qualification should they remain perfect after the next 2 games. Trinidad and Tobago will first be Bermuda next Friday and can move to 4 points with a victory, while Curaçao on 4 points can leapfrog Jamaica and move to the top of the pile should they win. Only the group winner will gain automatic qualification to next year's FIFA World Cup to be staged jointly in the USA, Mexico and Canada.
Now, Bournemouth are up to second in the English Premier League standings, a point behind their champions Liverpool after coming from a goal down to beat Fulham 3-1 at the Vitality on Friday. Ghanaian star Antoine Semenyo scored a pair of brilliant goals sandwiched by one from Julian Calvert to render Ryan Sessegno's opener for Fulham a mere consolation.
Chukwueze sliding it in and put in by Sessegnon. A sharp 1-2 and the first sight tonight of the Green Machine in full working order. Semenyo to ask the questions of Castagna. He's breezed away from him. Semenyo! What a goal! And we're all square, 1-1. Kluivert, this is suddenly end-to-end, isn't it? Kluivert for Bournemouth. Kluivert! Another astonishing Bournemouth goal. Gannon-Doak, here they come. Semenyo! It. The Cherries high in the Premier League tree tonight. They are up into seconds.
The Premier League continues this weekend with a full schedule of games, highlighted by the clash at Stamford Bridge between leaders and the champions Liverpool and Chelsea.
Organisers of the internationally acclaimed Reggae Marathon announced a landmark development at their recent media launch. Jamaica's premier road race will celebrate its 25th anniversary with a historic first staging in Kingston. The event, traditionally held in Negril, will unfold in the capital city on December 7th in a bold and symbolic shift that also marks the 30th anniversary of its founding organisation, the Jamdamas Running Club. The 2025 edition will feature World Athletics certified courses in the half marathon, 10K and 5K, guiding participants through iconic Kingston landmarks such as the National Gallery, Supreme Court and Waterlane's artwork before finishing at the scenic waterfront. Known for drawing runners from over 25 countries annually, the Reggae Marathon has become a bucket list event for elite and recreational athletes alike. The 2025 staging is expected to attract strong representation from Jamaica, the USA, Canada, the UK, Europe and Japan. The newly introduced 5K, launched in 2024, will continue to appeal to corporate teams and first-time runners seeking an immersive and festival experience.
The Caribbean Association of National Olympic Committees, CONOC, is set to convene its 13th workshop and 23rd General Assembly in Georgetown, Guyana from October 17 to 19. The 3-day gathering is expected to bring together regional Olympic officials, athletes, policymakers and key stakeholders for a high-level discussions on the future of sports in the Caribbean. CONOC President Keith Joseph offered a compelling preview of what delegates can expect, underscoring the Assembly's vital role in shaping an authentic Caribbean sports culture.
The announcement of our advanced management course, sponsored by the Caribbean Olympic Committee as part of our Memorandum of Understanding. But we're also talking Caribbean unity, and we're talking extra Caribbean unity. We've been talking about forging an alliance with Africa, and we expect that to feature prominently in our workshop agenda. We also incorporated, and consequently, the Juridical Commission will be talking about that. We're looking at discussing what is going to happen with the Caribbean Games. Are we going to be able to do a multi-island game, such as the Commonwealth Youth Games are also considering? We've been in discussions with the leadership of Commonwealth Sport in that regard.
Keith, Joseph.
Now to wrap up sports, Miami Heat guard Norman Powell says it was an honor to have represented Jamaica at the FIBA pre-World Cup qualifiers earlier this year. Powell was an instrumental figure for the Rick Turner coach team, who safely booked their spot for the upcoming FIBA qualifiers.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome for me. It was a passion project, not knowing much about my roots growing up, and being able to be a part of the national team, immersing myself in the culture, meeting the guys teaching me patois, and just being around everybody was amazing for me. Helping them qualify for the first time in the team's and country's history was also a bonus. And then the response from me playing, I didn't expect that from just the Jamaican community, the Caribbean community. It's been amazing. The FIBA experience was definitely good for me, more physical during the play. Not the same as when you're looking for fouls and trying to get fouls and the ref's not calling it.
The 2019 NBA champion with the Toronto Raptors added that the summer tournament allowed him to get into shape ahead of the 2025-2026 NBA season, which tips off later this month.
But I thought it was good just in prepping me for the season and just having a chance to play more live 5-on-5 basketball. Usually my summers are more training, individual, and then later in the summer we start playing 5-on-5. But being able to play full court for the full course of the summer, I think is going to be beneficial for me heading into the season.
Norman Powell.
I'm Alric Swiby.
I'm Maureen Buchanan. That's your sports.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is
6:20.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Mysterious, magical, mesmerizing. Wouldn't you like to experience the natural beauty of the Northern Lights? You could be the lucky one if you use your cards right. Spend with your Sagicor Bank credit card from September 29 to November 13, 2025, and you could win an all-inclusive cruise vacation for two along the Norwegian coast to see the Northern Lights. Chase the Northern Lights with your Sagicor Bank credit card. The more you spend it, the closer you are to your dream adventure. Enjoy the best rewards ever. Conditions apply. Authorized by the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission.
If it's in the public's interest, it's the nation's business during Nationwide at 5. The nation's business.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Good evening. Welcome to Public Opinion. I'm Nora Gay Banton. Now, Jamaica has a rich culinary heritage with iconic dishes such as Ike and Saltfish. There's also mackerel rundown. You know, we have the regular fried chicken, and there's also our iconic Jamaican patties. Everything jerked and pan fried is another go-to delight, or the popular oxtail, or even curried goat. Well, what about manish water, or, regular Sunday soup? Well, Whether it's a personal preference or dietary requirements, not every Jamaican is on board with all the nation's gastronomy offerings. In Public Opinion today, we are asking, I'm Jamaican and I don't eat blank. Now, feel free to weigh in our YouTube chat as we get to the comments. So, I'm Jamaican and I don't eat blank. Now, I'm going to start with some comments from our X platform, X formerly known as Twitter. First comment I'm seeing is from Mr. Anthony. Mr. Anthony says, I don't eat avocado, tripe and bean, cow foot, susumba. I've never had susumba. It doesn't look like something I would, partake in, but okay. Jolene says okra and cow foot. Janelle says chicken foot. Now, based on the comments I'm seeing across our social media platforms, the feet are very popular. The cow foot, chicken foot, yeah man, the foot them popular in the comments. A lot of people don't eat the foot them. On Instagram, well, let me go to Facebook first. On Facebook, remember, guys, you can also weigh in our YouTube chat, and I'll get to those comments shortly. On Facebook, we are on Facebook at Nationwide 90 FM. Philip Jackson says, no kind of head except fish head, no kind of foot except chicken foot, and no tripe, it burn my belly. Maxine says cow cod soup, ice cream. As a matter of fact, anything dairy, that sounds like an allergy. Conch meat, fish head, peanut, chickpeas. Well, chickpeas is not really Jamaican. Beverly Barrett says, I can't think of anything I don't eat. Big up Beverly. Rodney Williams says oxtail, cow foot, cow head, cow skin, tripe, liver, jerk pork, goat head soup, chicken foot, chicken back. Rodney, so like him not eat none at all. Karen Gordon on Facebook says jackfruit. She doesn't eat jackfruit. Jackfruit has a very strong scent, so a lot of people may shy away from jackfruit. Yvonne Guthrie says ackee and pear. Now, you see, if I this I go take away my Jamaican card, mine gone. 'Cause I don't eat ackee either. To be fair, I used to eat it when I was younger, but I think I had too much. I know I just can't eat no more. I can't eat any ackee. My mother used to cook ackee regular, and I don't think I can eat any more ackee. If ackee is the only offering, I'm just gonna have to eat the carbs, whatever it is. If it's bread, if it's dumpling, I'm just probably have to pick out the saltfish, but I don't eat the ackee. I'm so sorry. Nicola said dumpling, shrimp, lobster, crab, pork. Maureen Bryan said I don't eat chicken. Now that sounds like a pescatarian kind of thing. Michelle Bernard says I don't eat turn cornmeal. Me either. I can't get behind it. I'm so sorry. And it's not a discriminatory thing. Cause some people talk about turn cornmeal, dog food. It's not that kind of thing. Because I've tried it, but it just can't go down. It can't go down. And Lance on Facebook says I don't eat pork. Going over to our Instagram platform. On Instagram, quite a number of comments there on Instagram. G Money said I don't eat star apple. Robian, where are you? I got me here doing public opinion. Robian says in all caps, salt fish. Robian says salt fish. Shouldn't eat salt fish none at all. That's crazy. Dominique Mandy says ackee. Yeah, Dominique. Shibu Savage said jerk chicken, crab, shrimp, lobster, saltfish, yam, boiled banana, callaloo, Jamaican apple, dasheen, chocho, turn cornmeal. Yeah. All right. Queen Minnie said porridge. You see, porridge is it kind of a weird thing for me. I have a feel for porridge. I'm not gonna just get up and say yes. Porridge. I'm not gonna pick porridge like that just out of the blue. Yeah, me's not a porridge girl. Tyrone said turkey. So I guess him not eat the neck either. Turkey neck, them call it ghetto oxtail. Yeah, I love a good turkey neck, Tana said chicken foot. Tana, why you don't eat the chicken foot? What chicken foot do you? Sure, man. Lethal Man. Okay, Lethal Man says KFC. Wow, that's interesting. Never seen that one. I never saw that one coming. KFC? Really? Crazy. Well, I guess if you don't eat chicken and them things, your KFC not gonna be your thing. Denise says ackee and saltfish. Nomadic says none of your business. Okay. Queen Bromley says jackfruit, the scent is too high. Yeah, as I said earlier, the scent for jackfruit is a turn off for a lot of people. Ricardo Brooks says Dasheen. I eat Dasheen if it's like small, it's cut up small in like a soup. But if me go eat some food and it's like, say like stewed chicken and like ground provision, I'm not gonna pick a piece of Dasheen. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sorry. And Clear Skin Bully says ackee, chicken foot, mackerel, and jerk chicken. Let's quickly take some comments from YouTube. Wow, lots of comments here on YouTube. All right, let me see. Grace Price says ackee. Sandra Bailey said okra. Ricky says I'm a Jamaican and I do not eat pork. Saudria Campbell says I'm Jamaican and I don't eat oxtail. Never had it. It's too bony. Fair, and it's expensive for all that bone. Edgar Gordon says pork, and they eat pork. Rose McIntosh, ackee and saltfish is still my favorite after all these years. Well, big up you, Rose. Yeah, Ricky. I said Ricky said he doesn't eat pork. Barrington King says I'm a Jamaican and I don't eat red meat and pork. Kerry K says I'm a Jamaican and I don't eat pork, yam, and watching from Massachusetts, USA. Hey, from Massachusetts. Pork and yam, all right. 007 says I'm a Jamaican and I don't eat turned cornmeal, susumba, and liver. Yeah, all right. The susumba. What is susumba? What it tastes like? Like, I don't understand susumba. Somebody in the comments tell me what is susumba. Never had it before. I've never seen anybody eating susumba before. I don't even know how you cook susumba. Sorry. Little Miss R says turkey neck. Grace Price says ackee. Oh, I read Grace Price already. Carlene says I'm a Jamaican, but I don't like alcohol. You and a lot of other people, Carlene. Pernell Wint, rice and chicken. Wow. Like just rice, all of the chicken, none of them. Fellow C says pork, beef, turkey neck. Ian says what? Okay, I don't understand what that is saying. Let me just read a couple more. Hopi Sammy says I don't eat okra. S Marshall, I don't eat rundown. Master Jam says ackee and saltfish is a must 2 times a week. That's kind of a lot. And Ursuline Bowen, final comment, says no conch, shell, slimes, coach ripe, pork, crab, give me manish water 14 days per week. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for weighing in the comment section. Yeah. Okay, so Dre View says gully beans is like sour cucumber. So I guess he's referring to susumba. Like, I still don't get it. Fellow C said it's green. It's a green bean that is bitter. So why we eat it if it's bitter? I mean, I understand. Like, you know what? That's all for public opinion today. That's all for public opinion today. The business report is up next.
Public opinion was brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, industrial automation and control solutions.
Drive the most exciting new vehicles in Jamaica. Schedule your 2024 Ford Ranger pickup or Ford Everest 7-seater SUV test drive now. Call or visit KIG today.
The time by KIG is
6:32.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Nationwide's Business Report. I'm Siobhan Campbell. Logistics Plus Incorporated today announced a new partnership with Kingston Wharves Limited to support furniture, fixtures, and equipment for hospitality projects throughout Jamaica. Jamaica continues to encourage and promote new hotel construction and renovations to strengthen its tourism industry. Logistics Plus Incorporated and Kingston Wharves Limited are spearheading efforts to support diverse hospitality properties. This is expected to help elevate Jamaica's position as a world-class business and tourism destination. Apple has pulled apps that let users flag sightings of officers from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE. The tech giant said it had removed ICE Block from its app store after law enforcement made it aware of safety risks in similar apps. Another app called ICE Immigration Alerts has been removed from the App Store and Google Play. The decision means existing users of ICE Block can continue to use the app, but it cannot be newly downloaded. And finally, the currency markets. At the close of trading today, it costs 159 Jamaican dollars and 7 cents to buy $1 US. It will also cost 215 Jamaican dollars and 8 cents to buy £1 and 115 Jamaican dollars and 3 cents to buy the Canadian dollar. Well, that's it for the Business Report. I'm Siobhan Campbell. Have a good evening.
Could be your brand new 2026 Beijing X55 SUV for just $2,500. It's the JSSE's first ever car raffle. Grab your tickets at Fontana, York Pharmacy, Fesco, Mothers, Bosworth, Supreme Ventures, or online at jsseja.com or caribtix.com. Entry ends November 29, grand draw December 11, 2025. Proceeds support JSSE projects. Learn more at jsse.damstockex.com. Approved by the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission. Must be 18 years or older to enter. Rev up your Christmas with just $2,500.
Tune in to Outside with Pepita on Saturday, October 4 from 3 to 6 p.m. as we broadcast live from the Aviation Expo 2025 at the School of Aviation. Get ready for the ultimate aviation experience. Come see thrilling aircraft displays, cutting-edge technology, and meet industry experts shaping the future of flight. From aviation professionals to curious explorers, there's something for everyone. Don't miss this high-flying event. Mark your calendars for October 4 at Tinson Pen Aerodrome, where Jamaica's skies come alive. Tune in to Outside with Pepita, Saturday, October 4 from 3 to 6 p.m. It's the Aviation Expo 2025 at the School of Aviation. Catch us live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, or stay tuned to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the School of Aviation. The judiciary of Jamaica is bringing the courts to you. The Public Education Day kicks off on Wednesday, October 8, 2025 at the St. Anne Family Court starting at 9 a.m. Then stay tuned as Cliff Hughes Online broadcasts live from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. under the theme Your Court, Your Voice, Building Trust Through Knowledge. Students and residents are invited to discover the free services your courts provide. On-site support will also be available from the Ministry of Justice, the TAJ, RGD, CPFSA, Jamaica Customs Agency, NIS and PARC, Hard Trust NSTA, Restorative Justice, and other key partners. Don't miss this chance to learn, engage, and access essential services all in one place. So tune in to Cliff Hughes Online, Wednesday, October 8, 2025 at the St. Anne Family Court. It's the Public Education Day. Catch us live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, or stay tuned to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Judiciary of Jamaica, a world-class judiciary utilizing innovation and technology for efficient service delivery. Exciting news! The Design Studio on Nationwide 90 FM just got a whole lot bigger. Join us this and every Saturday now from 1 to 3 p.m. for an exclusive show that elevates your home, mind, and soul. Discover the latest interior design trends to create your dream sanctuary. Unlock your true potential with personal growth strategies. Nourish your body and spirit with
expert wellness tips. Don't miss out on the inspiration you need to live your best life. Tune in to the Design Studio this and every Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. and take the first step towards a more fulfilling you.
Make me sweat, make me harder.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me. Let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Good evening. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. It's wet and it's
cool.
Nice and cool outside,
Yes.
and it's even colder in the studio.
Because it's not that cold.
It is.
But
But I have Prof with me, so she
Let me be more
warms. She warms at the place. And can we call this the fire? The fire hairstyle?
The fire hairstyle.
There we go.
The color comes and goes. But yes, but we're talking about water and wet things and water restrictions. That's what we're talking about today. So we are in the nation's business, and we're going to talk a little bit about water restrictions in northern parishes, because of course the National Water Commission, NWC, says it has implemented water restrictions in some areas of St. Anne, Portland and St. Mary. This amid drought conditions in some areas despite heavy rain elsewhere in the country.
The NWC is saying that some of its water supply systems in northeastern parishes are being impacted by the drought conditions. It says some facilities are experiencing reduced production capacity in the final quarter of the severe dry season.
The NWC says this is as a result of declining inflows at surface water sources. It says some systems are producing only between 10 and 40% of the water needed to serve customers.
To mitigate the impact of the drought, regulated water supply and trucking schedules have been implemented in the affected areas. And the NWC says some customers should continue to adopt water conservation habits and ensure proper storage during this time. With us now, NWC's acting corporate public relations manager, Delano Williams. Delano, hello.
Good evening. Hi, Mr. Williams. Delano. Good evening, Delano.
How are you?
Williams. Hi.
I could do better. I think it's a good way to say it is half and half.
All right, fair. We'll take that.
Is that true?
Yes. So Delano, and I know I hope it's not raining too hard where you are, because water is coming out of the skies, and a lot of us are asking what's happening with these restrictions. So can you tell us a little bit more about give us some detail on the specific areas in St. Anne, Portland, and St. Mary that are now being affected by these water restrictions?
All right. It's probably even just a misnomer to say restrictions, because we're literally giving all that we are collecting.
Right.
So it's not that we're restricting anything from the customers. It's just that there is less water coming into a number of what you call surface sources. Most people will know it commonly as either rivers or small streams that we collect water from. By saying surface, it means they're obviously above ground as compared to wells, which are underground, and we pump up to the surface with. Whenever we get into the dry spell of any time after May, June each year, we typically see these systems fall off, meaning if you normally get 10 gallons of water, it sometimes fall off to as low as sometimes they literally dry up in some places. As we speak, my news release that you just read from speaks to varying numbers. So, for instance, Turtle Crawl, which is one of the biggest systems in Portland, it serves Drapers and Ferry Hill, Boston area, Fair Prospect.
Yes.
That's now operating at 30%. Not far from it, the Packy River system, which serves in Manchonil, Hector's River, Barracks Road, and Long Road, that's also operating at 20%. So we're talking about East Portland now.
Yes.
And some of the more rural systems, such as Kensington, this other place called Long Bay or Rose Garden, and also in the Hector's River area, Canning system, which serves a section of Hector's River as well. So if you're coming from St. Thomas, entering Portland from Hector's River, a lot of the systems within that first 15-20 minutes of your drive are the ones that are significantly affected now.
Less than 50, so they are less than 50%, 1/3 of the capacity in some instances. That's what they're telling us. So, but we are hearing, and we have been getting a lot of rainfall over the last week or so in some parts of the country, and people are asking, so why are we still speaking about, parts of the island experiencing drought-like conditions? Can you clarify?
Especially Portland.
Yes.
Because isn't that a parish that normally
rainfalls a lot?
More than average rainfall?
Yes.
All right. So I'm happy you said that. I could. Well, let me not be too candid. The truth is, what the weather patterns are showing is that we are seeing new patterns, long and short. Portland, which is historically a very wet parish, is now having drier months for longer periods. Right? We typically see an alternating between east and west on a yearly basis. So if the east gets a lot of rain in 2024, it tends to be less in 2025. The trend might come back that it's wetter in 2026. But the truth is we're seeing some new patterns coming with climate change.
Yes.
For instance, let's come back a little closer to where you're situated in Kingston. We've seen in last year and the year before, the Mona Reservoir was already at 80-85%. At this time, albeit it's now improved by over 10% in a week, but that 10% has only brought it to 60 versus 80 plus.
Yes.
Right? We're seeing rain popping up in places where it's drenching all of the halfway tree area, but the Constant Spring system took several weeks longer to get to capacity, and the Mona side was somewhat way drier. As a matter of fact, yesterday I was in the Hope River, and it was nothing to speak of.
And so what you're saying then, Delano Williams, is that even when we are seeing the torrential rains, it may not be falling in the areas where the large catchments are located as it normally does.
Yes. Let me reference something which at the time we were learning it seemed very innocuous. The UWI has a course in science, med and tech that they teach on climate change, and they talk about more frequent rains, heavier and shorter bursts, rainfall coming in places where it never fell before, stronger storms for shorter periods. All of these are what we're seeing now manifesting in terms of forecast. And I don't want to date myself too much, but this was one course that the UA has probably had from maybe 15, 20 years ago. That is what is now manifesting, even with our water systems. So we are having to continuously track what the new patterns are based on the projections and the studies from the Met Office. We also partner with this other agency, which is called the Water Resources Authority. They do their checks to see what the flow levels are in the rivers, the streams, and also do measurements underground to see what the aquifers, meaning where the wells are situated.
Yes, the underground,
what
those
volumes
sources.
look like. Yes. We're having to be guided by that, so we're having to in many instances like St. Thomas, we've had to move our intake, meaning the pipes and the infrastructure that we have to collect the water. We've had to move it 50, 100 feet upstream.
And you just answered the question that I want to ask, because I want to ask if we had been putting our catchment and our collection mechanisms in particular areas based on historical patterns, since they are changing, do we have to move? We have to build a dam somewhere else and the pipe?
We have to adapt. Yes. And so the studies with the dam are now commencing. I think just when the drought started, I spoke to those realities that we are now measuring if we are able to expand both the Mona and the Hermitage facilities. That is going to take some time to complete that study. But we're having to look at the flow levels in the meantime. So it means that maybe we get 6 weeks of heavy rain versus 3 months. And the ability to harness that water quickly is going to be critical.
Harness and storage, yes.
Harness and store, yes. So the storage is critical. But you also need to look at one of the game changers for us is what we're doing with the Rio Cobra system, which is harnessing water now from the content area of Rio Cobra near Dam Head. And it's going to import it into sections of St. Catherine and Kingston to supplement Mona and Constant Spring.
And we're talking, and we're just reminding listeners that we're talking with Delana Williams, who is the acting corporate public relations manager at the National Water Commission, about some of the issues surrounding water restrictions in several parishes, but also talking generally about what is happening with our water resources as climate change affects, what we are able to access and store and share with our customers, the kind of potable water resources that they need on a daily basis. Yes.
Delano, let me ask you, now that the restrictions are in place, for those who may be affected, what does trucking look like at this time?
All right, so we do on-demand trucking for St. Anne and also for some sections of Portland. What that means is that we know some communities people have varying degrees of storage. So they call us, we'll truck to their areas, we make a daily list, and we go through and deliver. So for instance, today we were in the Lime Hall area of St. Anne. We also did Chester and a section of Mount Zion. When it comes to Portland, we've had to do some adjustment, and we will be tweaking that schedule on the weekend to publish between Monday and Tuesday. So, for instance, we normally serve some communities, say, on a Tuesday, but they would get it by 6 a.m. Because we are getting less water, the pumping mechanism can't kick in at the usual 6, so we are looking to see what the new time is, where we would be able to distribute to customers. So we supplement, so we're doing two things, trucking where necessary and also adjusting the piped water supply. I can also just quickly switch to St. Mary, if you will allow me.
Yes, please.
Yes.
All right, so southeastern St. Mary, we have a system called Ita Boreal. It's just about a mile or two outside of Anoto Bay. So for those areas served by that system, Dover, Enfield, Epsom, we serve Dover Thursday through to Tuesday. We serve Enfield Monday to Sunday, and we serve Epsom Friday to Tuesday. For Anoto Bay, it's a little bit longer, so we're going to be in Belfield on Thursdays, Clonmel Tuesdays, Aleppo Tuesdays, Louis Store Tuesdays as well, and also Coffee Peace. And then on Mondays, we do Cromwell Land, Lindale, Nashville, Charlottesville. For the Richmond side, Thursday through to Sunday. Zion Hill is Monday through to Sunday. Broadgate, Sunday through to Thursday. I know I'm giving you a lot, but bear with me. And then Golden Valley is Sunday through to Thursday, followed by Friendship Gap and Castleton, Thursday to Sunday. And we have published this on our website and also on our social media pages.
And so you publish it on those places. Do the residents all have access? I mean, where I live, I get information from the NWC on my phone. They send me texts telling me that my area will not have water or they will be doing certain things. So do you do that for the residents in those areas?
So we do it in every case, but two things must work together. So you need to give us your telephone number.
I see.
Or those persons need to be able to provide a working phone number for us. Some persons have not updated in recent times. We want to encourage them to provide us with a mobile that allows them to receive those alerts from us.
Right.
And of course, our mobile app is also one of the newest channels that they can receive updates on disruptions.
Delano, schools, health centers, businesses, where, right? So is it that the trucking, are they prioritizing trucking, or how do you regulate that for them?
We generally establish relationships with them. They have some direct links to our trucking or water delivery teams. And we check in with the schools, for instance, before the opening of the terms, to reaffirm those contacts. They call us again because some schools have varying storage levels, and they call us. We generally maintain them at their optimum, but we encourage them to link us at least 24 hours prior to ensure we can mobilize before their operations are facing any kind of disruption. So if you want it from Monday, today into Saturday is a good time for those operations. And we generally respond quickly.
Yeah.
And you know, we are still told that we are in the final stretch of the dry season, and I know that your team along with the different state agencies are monitoring this situation. Is there any kind of forecast or indication as to when the situation might improve, change positively? What do you have on record that can be shared regarding that?
We're guided by the Met Office. I recall they posted something today. Let me see if I can quickly access it. The general forecast is that September into October would have provided an improvement in water supply. Those margins I'm trying to access to tell you what it looks like. But we have to be a little patient and to understand that this is a projection which may or may not fully come to this.
Yes. But looking into the future. Oh, go ahead, and then because I want to ask you
normal
about
conditions in most areas throughout, wet conditions in parishes. I think this is their recap for up to August. I'm looking for the outlook for the coming months. Oh, here we go.
But why?
All right.
Yes.
So for the eastern parishes, perhaps about somewhere near normal in terms of rainfall projections. So they are not above normal, just near normal to their previous years. We're hoping that manifests itself. With some of the other parishes, such as the southwest, in terms of the Manchester St. Elizabeth Belt and sections of Clarendon, are projected to be fairly wet, but Portland, St. Anne, St. Mary, and even sections of St. Thomas and Kingston are somewhere near what they consider to be normal rainfall.
And the final question, though, Delano, before we go, I just came back from San Andres, which is off the coast of Colombia, Nicaragua, and Panama. They have no water resources, so they use desalinated water because they are in the middle, right, for regular household use, and then bottled water for personal use. We are also an island. Are there plans in the future probably to set up a desalination plant so we can use some of the seawater for some of our personal activities, household activities?
Well, Minister would have spoken to that matter a few months ago in indicating that the government is in fact looking at all options.
Yes.
And I would want to just defer to him on that.
Yes.
Right. In the sense, though, that we are also quite advanced in integrating further our water supply system. So I made the point that substantially what we're building in Jamaica is kind of a ring network resembling London system where major pump stations are connected from one parish to the other. So right now, from Negril all the way through to the border of St. Mary and Portland, a place called Dover, we can literally move a drop of water.
To an area that needs it.
Yes. It still comes down to the availability and the pipes we're changing in some key places, such as St. Anne's Bay and along the Iron Shore Road. But that's what is in train, and we're making significant progress with both these major pipelines and upgrading the systems like the ones in Anata Bay, Agualta Vale, which serves Richmond areas, Highgate areas, Islington areas, and depending upgrades from Martha Brain, Trelawney, Great River, in border of Hanover and West and St. James, beg your pardon, Braintree, and then also some longer term ones such as the Roaring River in Westmoreland.
Okay, so when you see some of the works being done by the NWC, these are some of the reasons why so much work is going on, that the roads are being rearranged so that large pipes can.
Lord!
You know, the roads are being rearranged, but no, listening to you, I'm realizing that there's a lot of progress on the way, and we will benefit in the future. So we have to pray and ride and whistle while the progress takes place. Delano Williams.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Thank you, Delano.
Thank you for that. Because, no, I'm thinking, oh, this is why the road they got all over the place. You know,
including Wellington Drive.
I teach at the Mona campus, Wellington. Yes. So just comfort us in the Ligani area, or you know, Wellington Drive, Old Hope Road. Give us a word of comfort. Hope Road. Give us.
All right. So the weather permitting, we want to complete what is called pressure testing. So why you see some open trenches there, we connect the pipes, but before we put asphalt down, the sensible thing to do is to put the maximum pressure in the pipes and ensure they are holding. So that is now being undertaken. Once we finish that, we will do a remedial work on the road and then do the final asphalt. Target date, knock on wood, we're looking to do that by the end of this month.
I am knocking on wood on behalf of all the motorists, taxi drivers, school children, bus, everybody who is in that area. We are literally locked in traffic in that entire area because of Wellington Road, and so we are bearing with you people. You heard it from Delano Williams, who is the acting corporate public relations manager, that Wellington Drive area, Seymour, all of those areas that are affected right there. Monroe Road, we're under pressure, you know. All of us who have to use those areas and are stuck in that whole circle in Old Hope Road, Mona Road, all of those areas. And all of us who have to come and go from the University of the West Indies, JC, all those areas. We will get some relief, hopefully, by the end of October. We thank you for the progress, and we are looking forward to it so much. And we thank you so much. Have a good weekend, Delano Williams.
You too. Appreciate it, and have a good one too.
Thank you,
Delano.
So much. Thank you.
Take care, sir.
All right, we're going to take a break and come back with more.
Every time you a link with a condom, coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Do it for your best life. The time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness is
a minute after 7.
Home is closer than you think when you save towards your dream home with the Homeowners Savings Plan, or HOSP, from CIBC Caribbean. With HOSP, you unlock preferential interest rates to earn more interest on your savings and pay less with a discounted mortgage rate. You can even borrow up to an additional US $5,000 or its equivalent to help you with your closing costs. Get home faster when you save the HOSP way with CIBC.
The true beauty of music is that it connects people. It carries a message. It speaks to you. It changes you. And that's exactly what we do just for you every Sunday as we take you to Urban Paradise, 9:10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Urban Paradise is our weekly musical journey that will serve up 110 glorious minutes of positive storytelling through music, mixed in with inspirational features to provoke thought and to heal the soul.
Like a dream come true, just wanna be with you.
So join me, Diane Ashton Smith, this and every Sunday, 9:10 a.m. to 11 a.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. Urban Paradise, opening our hearts, connecting to others.
Not a mercy. This one is very classic, dedicated to all schoolers who are taking it.
If you've ever struggled to pass an exam, then you'll know that students today are under great pressure to get good grades and secure qualification needed to move on to higher education. The problem is that too many students are struggling alone and could really benefit from connecting with hardworking teachers and other bright students in other parts of the country and the region. Join me, Dennis Brooks, this and every Friday evening from 8 to 9, with a repeat on Saturday morning from 8 to 9. For the A-Team, a study group on radio, my team of teachers, students, and experts will break down the syllabus, giving you information, tips, and past paper questions that will help you get top grades in your upcoming exams. Follow us on Facebook Live and on Twitter and be a part of the community. It's the A-Team, Fridays at 8 p.m. with a repeat at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. It's your free extra class on radio and social media. And it's right here on Nationwide 90 FM, the revolution in media.
Tune in to Outside with Pepita on Saturday, October 4 from 3 to 6 p.m. as we broadcast live from the Aviation Expo 2025 at the School of Aviation. Get ready for the ultimate aviation experience. Come see thrilling aircraft displays, cutting-edge technology, and meet industry experts shaping the future of flight. From aviation professionals to curious explorers, there's something for everyone. Don't miss this high-flying event. Mark your calendars for October 4 at Tinson Pen Aerodrome, where Jamaica's skies come alive. Tune in to Outside with Pepita, Saturday, October 4 from 3 to 6 p.m. It's the Aviation Expo 2025 at the School of Aviation. Catch us live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, or stay tuned to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the School of Aviation.
Welcome back with us here on Nationwide at 5, and now we're going to go into our conversation at 7 or just after. We're talking a little bit about leadership, Ricardo. Indeed.
It's a LeaderCast, a one-day leadership conference, and it's the world's largest such conference, and it's returning to Kingston after a 5-year hiatus on Thursday, October 7th. That's next Thursday. The summit will come alive as Henika Watkis Porter hosts LeaderCast Kingston under the banner of Grace to Grow Mentorship and Training.
This year marks the 25th anniversary of LeaderCast, and the 2025 theme, Legacy of Impact, promises to ignite a new era of leadership in Jamaica. For more on LeaderCast Kingston, we are being joined by the organizer, Henika Watkis Porter. Good evening, Mrs. Porter.
Good evening.
Watkis Porter. Hi, Henika.
Good evening, Ricardo.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I am wonderful. And let me just right off the bat, just mention that we've had a change of venue. So for those listening, it's now at Exim Bank. So they just set the stage right there, so the memory is not etched in your mind.
Okay.
Exim Bank. So tell us, for people who are listening and who may not know, what exactly is LeaderCast?
Oh my gosh, LeaderCast is a phenomenal leadership event. It was actually started by John Maxwell when he thought he was going into retirement. And then, he sold it after that. He sold it and started Live to Lead. So they're sisters. For those who know Live to Lead, LeaderCast and Live to Lead are sisters, or very near cousins. But it is a leadership event. It's a premier leadership event. They've actually changed the model right now. But previously, the model was such that it's the largest one-day leadership event globally. So while it's being hosted in the United States of America, live, there are various satellite events around different parts of the world. So pre-COVID, I hosted quite a number of LeaderCast events, at varying locations. where we have some amazing speakers in the past. We've had Andy Stanley, Carla Harris, Patrick Lencioni, and so many others in the past that have set the stage. And, those who we look up to as leadership guru, as they say, right? And now in this year, so COVID happened. We all know what happened there. And I took a break from LeaderCast and never continued it. And but then this year, we decided that we are going to host this event to provide funds as a fundraiser for Grace to Grow Mentorship and Training, which is my social enterprise, which offers women a free mentorship over a 3-month period on leadership, entrepreneurship, parenting, wellness, and various other topics over 3 months. And so for this impact event, it's interesting.
Yes.
So, yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you. Please go ahead. You're telling us about the Grace to Grow and mentorship and the relationship. Yes.
Yes. So it's very interesting that no coincidence, because I don't believe in coincidence, it's a God incident, right? That the theme for LeaderCast this year is Legacy of Impact, that's what Grace to Grow is all about. We were nominated in the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce Award this year.
Yes.
Based on the work that we're doing. So now we want to take, because the training part of it is what is supposed to raise funds, what is supposed to be the enterprising aspect of Grace to Grow. The mentorship part is the social impact that we create, but the training part is what we are supposed to do so that we raise funds to make this program sustainable.
So the 25th anniversary of LeaderCast is also being marked this year. How will that milestone be reflected in the Kingston event? Henika Watkins Porter, tell us.
Oh my gosh. So the amazing speaker lineup that we have Jesse Cole, and you all, if you don't know these names, I just tell you, Google is your friend. Just put them in right now, and then you're going to say, a big something, right? So we have Jesse Cole, Dominique Dawes, Olympic gold medalist. We have Andy Stanley, best-selling author, John Gordon, all these renowned leadership experts, and of course, and many others. And then we have our very own local presenter, keynote presenter, the Rochelle Cameron, right? So it's going to be amazing. We're also having our graduation. So the women who graduated or graduating from cohorts 5 and 6 of the Grace to Grow Mentorship Program will also be a part of that. So when you support this event, you're not only leveling up and learning how to create a tangible impact and legacy, but you're also supporting a very meaningful cause.
So you're telling us about some of the key speakers, both local and international. What are some of the topics that they're going to be addressing at LeaderCast/Grace to Grow here in Kingston?
Oh, so number one is how to create legacy. And when we think about legacy, like, people don't often, give a lot of thought, put a lot of thought into it. Oh, well, I'm not around, whatever. But it's taking a very proactive look at how it is that because people are going to remember you for something, right? Or if they don't remember you for, or even if it's one thing, so they're going to remember you for something good or something really bad, or you were just kind of lukewarm, so nobody remembers you for anything, right? Or remembers anything about you. But I know Andy Stanley, for example, is giving a very poignant demonstration of how you go ahead and create. So this is not an event that you're going to hear, just be resilient, just work hard.
Mm-hmm.
All of those cliches that we hear over and over, and you walk away from the event and you're like, oh my gosh, it was good to be there, but what have I walked away with? LeaderCast conferences are never like that. You're always leaving with something very, very practical, very, very tangible, things that you're struggling with in your personal life, in your career, on your leadership journey. They tell you the know-how, actionable steps, A, B, C, D, do this, 1, 2, 3. And so it is important that you be in the room. Don't let somebody tell you about it. And
yes,
what is it? I know you have nothing to ask, don't you?
Yes, and I'm listening. Yeah, because I'm a listener. Because I'm going to ask, that sounds like people have to pay a lot of money to come, but I don't get there.
Can I tell you something? We've actually reduced the cost. In previous years, you pay like $225 for a ticket.
You're talking about US dollars, please make
sure. We don't speak Jamaican here, okay? Unless it's the language.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, on a serious note though, So, so in previous years, 5 years ago, it was $225, right? And this year, we're making it so reasonable, $175 to be in the room. We have some amazing sponsors giving away goodie stuff. The enrichment that you're getting, the practical takeaways that you're getting, in addition to supporting a cause which are aligned to the social development goals. You can't want it better than that.
And you know what? So it sounds like a wealth of information will be shared, Heneka. What kind of impact are you hoping that this event will have on Jamaican leaders, on Jamaican leadership in general? What are you expecting?
You know, one of the things, and as I grow as a leader, I recognize that leadership is about vulnerability. It's about emotional intelligence. It really is about leaning in to what those to what the persons that are around you, your sphere of influence, are really saying, even the unspoken words. And so learning, I find that we talk a lot about, management. We talk a lot about, how you should do this to improve your sales and the bottom line and all of these things. But those things that we consider, the soft skills, the emotional intelligence, to listen more than we speak, all of these things, we don't really, nobody really taught us how to do it. And I'm telling you, and all the testimonials speak for themselves. Persons who have been in the room. My leadership has been significantly impacted because nobody taught me how to lead. LeaderCast is what brought me to this space that I can even now be doing a leadership cruise conference to the Bahamas coming up in November. So these are the things, and these events, this space. Now I'm actually on the advisory board of LeaderCast, and that is huge. The only black person, the only non-US person. So you learn in this environment. You learn how to be, the word that I know, and the term I normally come back to, which is emotional intelligence, because that is big. Learning how to have empathy. Too many leaders I see want to be served and not recognizing that leadership is about servitude, is about servanthood, is about you being able to serve those around you and feel joy in serving other people. It's not like, oh, I'm below them. Right,
so the principle, the concept of the servant leader is what you're referring to.
Absolutely.
So tell me then, and tell our listeners, our YouTubers, who are the people that you're targeting? Who is your target audience? Who do you think should attend LeaderCast Kingston on October 7?
So anybody who aligns with the term leader, who they're with an executive, a company executive, they're running their own business, they're a church leader, they're leading, non-profit organization, whatever it is. If you find yourself in a sphere of influence, because that's what leadership is all about, influence. If you find yourself in that space, or you're aspiring to be in that space, right, this is where you should be, because I guarantee you the testimonials speak. I mean, we have the testimonials of persons coming to LeaderCast and getting scholarship and getting full, sponsored overseas to be a part of that school advisory board, all the testimonials that come from that just being in that space. I cannot put it into words exactly, but I can only try, right? It is all worth it. And guess what, too? You have an opportunity to win, courtesy of Sandals Resort, at any Sandals Resort in Jamaica. You have an opportunity to have a vacation for 2 adults, night for two adults, right? So
that is when you come to LeaderCast next week, the 7th of October, and you have to be registered and you have to have tickets. So tell us, because people would like to know remind us where LeaderCast will be held next week on the 7th of October, and how people register, or how do they get tickets. Tell us about that. Awesome
sauce. So I'm happy to. LeaderCast, to register, go to spiropen.com/LeaderCast. That's LeaderCast, as in broadcast, LeaderCast. And you can also, no, I don't want to send you. I'm going to send you one place. spiropen.com/LeaderCast.
Could you repeat what open.com?
Spiropen.
Spur.
Yes, SPURR, open.com/LeaderCast. I want to big up my sponsors, my partners. Of course, there is Nationwide to the World, Nationwide News Network. Of course, we have all of your sponsors, Lechamp Cosmetics. We have JPS, NHD, Affinity, Global Projects Consultancy, and others. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody because I can get in trouble, right? But so come out, take your team. We have, limited space because the new location, we had to do some pivot, and our new location is 85 Hope Road, that's Exim Bank. And of course, parking is at 80 Hope Road, right? So come out, come listen to Andy Stanley, come listen to Jesse Cole, Dominique Dawes. You want to listen to Hal Elrod, John Gordon. Did I say Rochelle Cameron? Amazing Rochelle Cameron.
Yeah, Rochelle is extreme. I've listened to Rochelle in different dispensations. She's extremely amazing, and she pulls you in and weaves you out and throws you up in the air, and then she dances a bit too.
Dance you're not having.
Yes.
She's like that.
Yes, she is. So apart from the talks and all of that, and of course the opportunity to win a weekend for two at any Sandals location in Jamaica, are there any special activities or workshops or networking opportunities that people will get if they attend LeaderCast Kingston on October 7th?
You are such a wonderful interviewer, Professor. Of course.
I have to thank my producer, Dana Davey, as well. Yes.
Of course, there is networking and intentional networking. Like, I was going through the running order today with one of my team members, and we mentioned the activity, and then I stated something that I called to action and I want him to do, and she was like, "Lance Seneca, and no, they need to do that, because too often we get into a space, we have a nice little activity, when we go home, we meet people, when we go home, we don't remember about the people, right? And we even call them and we think it's about us, right? No, I am challenging persons in the room to want, and I won't tell you what the activities that I'm going to have you do, but once you get there and you get people's number and stuff, I'm going to challenge you to do something tangible so that you leave. Because, listen, I find the older I get, the more chronologically mature I get, Professor, the more I realize that, business and all we do is about relationship. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Yes. How do you get like to go out and have coffee with them for no apparent reason? Too often we see networking as a transactional activity. So I only call you when I want something. And you know what I mean?
So you have to build a relationship over time and build some level of trust.
Yes, man. Yes, that's what the thing said.
So as we are coming to, I'm sure persons are interested and, will follow up and we'll go to the website that you have reminded us about. But how can people stay connected with you and follow up this on the event? Because you do many other things. I hear you mention some leadership cruise to the Bahamas.
Yes, and things are open for that. Anyway, I won't.
That's further down. But tell us about how people can stay connected to you, Henika Watkins Porter, and get updates on this event and other events that you're involved with.
Right. So HenikaWatkinsPorter.com. That's my name, Heneka Watkins, 1S. Porter, no hyphen or anything.com. That's for and all social media platforms. Well, the main ones. I'm not on all of them. The main ones. And then to follow and check out what we are doing, the impact we're having, and why we're having this event in the first place, LeaderCast. Go to gracetogrowglobal.com, because listen, our people are global. Our team members are global. We have people working with us in India, Nigeria, Kenya, UK, Switzerland. Oh my gosh, it's too many to call, right? So we have a global team. We're impacting the globe. And so this theme for LeaderCast this year is so poignant, because it aligns so much with what it is that we're doing. And so come on out to create your legacy of impact. Of course, there's so much more. They're going to tell you how to stay positive. You're going to hear the stories of some people who didn't come back, like literally, right? And hear the stories of these people and how it is that they've managed to, in spite of all the odds that they've gone through, to thrive. Because with no surviving around here, it's all about thriving. LeaderCast is the place to be. Get in the room. Seats are limited. We're cutting off registration pretty soon, maybe by this conversation finish. And so go right now, spurropen.com, SPURR, open.com/LeaderCast. Don't let anybody tell you about it.
And it's $175. I mean, and you cannot give away any free tickets or anything, so you have to pay to get there. But it sounds like a wonderful feast of activity, engagement, and information. Henika Watkins Porter, LeaderCast Kingston, in collaboration, of course, the Grace to Grow activity, a legacy of impact, returning after 5 years, after a hiatus of 5 years. Sounds like COVID had a little marker there. I want to thank you for sharing with us and wish you all the best. Next week, October 7, you'll be at the Exim Bank on Hope Road, 85 Hope Road. parking, you say at 80 Hope Road across the road somewhere. That's what.
8:30 to 4. 8:30 registration. 9 a.m. session start. 9 a.m. sharp.
All right. All the best, and I hope that some of our listeners and persons who have an interest will indeed make their way and share in all that you have to offer. If I can pass by, I'll try, but that's not like a day.
Come.
All right.
Nationwide Party. So thank you, Prof. Thank you to your team as well, Ricardo Brooks, and producer, everybody, the whole Nationwide family. Big up to the cell. Enough love.
Thank you so much. Have a good weekend and all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Indeed.
Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. And Ricardo, that you're going to lead a cause. You can't manage anything more, Ricardo. Ricardo is wearing many hats. You know, Ricardo get all these hats wearing, Ricardo. You're young and strong. I tell you, people, only young and strong, you know, wear many hats, carry a lot of load, because when you pass a certain age, you gotta, strengthen up yourself to get to do 500 things in a day. Drink glucose. Well, I shouldn't call anything name, but drink water. Drink water, people. You can't see my water cup. Drink water. Yes. But
we're gonna take a break, and then we come back. We tell you what's happening with Hamas and Israel.
Indeed.
The NHT has boosted construction loan limits to 11 million for one applicant and up to 23 million for 3 co-applicants. We are building Jamaica.
The time by the Office of the Prime Minister is
7:24 p.m.
The Judiciary of Jamaica is bringing the courts to you. The Public Education Day kicks off on Wednesday, October 8, 2025 at the St. Anne Family Court starting at 9 a.m. Then stay tuned as Cliff Hughes Online broadcasts live from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. under the theme, Your Court, Your Voice, Building Trust Through Knowledge. Students and residents are invited to discover the free services your courts provide. On-site support will also be available from the Ministry of Justice, the TAJ, RGD, CPFSA, Jamaica Customs Agency, NIS and PAC, Hard Trust NSTA, Restorative Justice, and other key partners. Don't miss this chance to learn, engage, and access essential services all in one place. So tune in to Cliff Hughes Online, Wednesday, October 8, 2025 at the St. Anne Family Court. It's the Public Education Day. Catch us live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, or stay tuned to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Judiciary of Jamaica, a world-class judiciary utilizing innovation and technology for efficient service delivery.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me. Let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Tune in to Outside with Pepita on Saturday, October 4 from 3 to 6 p.m. as we broadcast live from the Aviation Expo 2025 at the School of Aviation. Get ready for the ultimate aviation experience. Come see thrilling aircraft displays, cutting-edge technology, and meet industry experts shaping the future of flight. From aviation professionals to curious explorers, there's something for everyone. Don't miss this high-flying event. Mark your calendars for October 4 at Tinson Pen Aerodrome, where Jamaica's skies come alive. Tune in to Outside with Pepita, Saturday, October 4 from 3 to 6 p.m. It's the Aviation Expo 2025 at the School of Aviation. Catch us live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, or stay tuned to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the School of Aviation.
Welcome back, Nationwide at 5. I think we're supposed to be getting an update on the situation with Hamas, are we? Yes, so I think we're going to that update. So this is an update on the situation with Hamas. Stay with us.
A targeted attack on a community, almost certainly inspired by hatred, designed to provoke fear. It seemed inevitable this statement would come.
Counter-terrorism policing has declared this as a terrorist incident. And I want to be clear, UK policing is mobilising, and it's mobilising fast.
Police say there's no reason to suspect an increased threat to synagogues, but policing visibility will be stepped up. This from London's mayor.
I want to reassure them that in London they will be seeing additional police officers. People should be allowed to go about and practice their faith, knowing they're going to be safe. Unfortunately, too many Jewish Londoners, Jewish people across the country, Jewish people across the globe don't feel that way, and that's heartbreaking.
The Jewish community had feared this day would come and had already put measures in place to protect themselves, as the Prime Minister observed.
We provide a home. For so many Jewish families, that is the story of Britain. But Britain is also a country where Jewish buildings, synagogues, even schools require round-the-clock protection, where dedicated specialist security is necessary because of the daily threat of anti-Semitic hatred. Today's horrific incident shows why. And while this is not a new hate, this is something Jews have always lived with, we must be clear. It is a hatred that is rising once again.
The Community Security Trust, which monitors anti-Semitism, found that after the October 7th attacks in Israel, anti-Jewish incidents doubled in the first half of 2024.
I don't want it to be normalised. It's completely abnormal and extreme for British Jews to have to lead this way. The security measures at schools, I mean, we design schools at the architecture stage to be as far back from main roads as possible in case, God forbid, there's ever a truck bomb. You know, that's the extent of what we do.
Ahmed Ali Alid was responsible for the last terrorist murder in the UK. In October 2023, the asylum seeker attacked a Christian housemate in Hartlepool, but said he was inspired by the war in Gaza. In October last year, the head of MI5 had this warning.
We are powerfully alive to the risk that events in the Middle East directly trigger terrorist action in the UK, as we saw with last October's knife attack in Hartlepool. The ripples from conflict in that region will not necessarily arrive at our shores in a straightforward fashion. They'll be filtered through the lens of online media and mixed with existing views and grievances in unpredictable ways.
Marauding attacks are unpredictable and quick. In 2017, the 3 London bridge attackers killed 6 people in 8 minutes before they were shot. The same year, the Westminster bridge attacker killed 5 people in 82 seconds. Here in Manchester, the attacker was shot within 7 minutes of a call from the public. That phone call probably saved lives. It's likely so did the security precautions that all synagogues routinely deploy. That fortressing of their lives, schools and places of worship must sadly be stepped up. Jason Farrell, Sky News.
There, that report from Sky News on the update on the Hamas peace deal, where today in a dramatic development we heard the militant Palestinian group Hamas announcing that it is willing to immediately enter negotiations for the release of all remaining Israeli hostages held in Gaza. It's a move that, of course, we know could mark a significant breakthrough in the efforts to end the war to date, the most significant breakthrough to date. And the response by Hamas is in line with President Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan, which has been struggling to gain traction after months of failed attempt at brokering a ceasefire. Hamas also declared not only its readiness to negotiate to mediators, but also its willingness to hand over governance of Gaza to a Palestinian authority of independent technocrats formed on the basis of national consensus and supported by Arab and Islamic states. And these two pledges, the release of 48 hostages within 72 hours and the relinquishing of power in Gaza, were seen as the toughest hurdles in Trump's proposal, with many analysts expecting Hamas to reject them. Instead, Hamas's agreement to the conditions has opened a pathway for a ceasefire framework that now carries growing international momentum, even with some uncertainty clouding the road ahead. Because Hamas's statement was silent on disarmament and the dismantling of its military infrastructure, issues that are considered central to Israel's security concerns. The group said only that remaining aspects of the American plan would be addressed in future discussions. However, of course, as you heard in that report from Sky News, this is a move that is critical and important in the historical challenges and the war that has been going on for decades between the Israelis and the Palestinians over that Gaza Strip. So we will hear more on that in the future, and we'll continue here at Nationwide to provide you with updates on. And now we're going to take a quick break, and we come back and continue our conversation. We're bringing you an update on that video from the principal of Beth Arbor Primary School about Jaden Spitz. Stay with us.
Not a mercy. This one is very classic, dedicated to all the schoolers who are taking.
If you've ever struggled to pass an exam, then you'll know that students today are under great pressure to get good grades and secure qualification needed to move on to higher education. The problem is that too many students are struggling alone and could really benefit from connecting with hardworking teachers and other bright students in other parts of the country and the region. Join me, Dennis Brooks, this and every Friday evening from 8 to 9, with a repeat on Saturday morning from 8 to 9. For the A-Team, a study group on radio, my team of teachers, students, and experts will break down the syllabus, giving you information, tips, and past paper questions that will help you get top grades in your upcoming exams. Follow us on Facebook Live and on Twitter and be a part of the community. It's the A-Team, Fridays at 8 p.m. with a repeat at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. It's your free extra class on radio and social media. And it's right here on Nationwide 90 FM, the revolution in media.
Welcome back. Nationwide at 5. And Professor Donna Hope Ricardo will join us shortly. But of course, we are going back to one of the aspects of our cover story on that missing student from the Manchester High School, Jaden Smith. And we had reported that the Vice Principal, Richard Evans, says that she believes that Jaden will return home in an interview with our own Mahiri Stewart. We're going to play that video now for you. And we will now listen to what Mr. Richard Evans said about Jaden.
And I don't like the social media. It sends my pressure up, and it's a good thing I'm taking pressure tablet, because social media don't have anything too sweet just to fill my heart. Too many negatives, I mean, I get no answer.
Only positive.
Yes. I want to hear that Jaden come. And no rough voice can't talk to him.
Soft voice.
And me think me had the roughest voice in the world. Rough voice cannot call him. You can't call him, you can't shout at him for him to come. You have to sweet talk him. That's what he knows. Jaden, come. Jaden, come. That's what you have to say to Jaden. Jaden, come. And then he will come speechlessly. And you hug him. And you say, what happened to you now, my son? Oh, God.
All right, thank you.
Oh, my God. Oh, gee. Oh, my God. Where is Jaden? Oh, Jesus. Where is Jaden? Oh, Lord. Where is Jaden? Jaden, where are you? You are not that kind of child. You are not that kind of child, Jaden. You are not the running child. You are not the running child, Jaden. Keep your head space. We need that part of you. Oh, God. Thank you.
Yeah.
That video there, of course, Rita Evans, vice principal of the Beth Abra Primary School that Jaden attended before going to the Manchester High School, and she was in an interview with our Mahiri Stewart earlier today. And of course, you know, this is a conversation that we're going to will continue until Jaden returns home. We know he's going to be returning home. And we are sending out as well all the appeals we can from Nationwide, encouraging Jaden to return home and encouraging anyone who sees him, as Miss Evans says, asking them to speak to him softly and encourage him to return home. We're going to take a break and come back and take your calls. Stay with us.
Tune in to Outside with Pepita on Saturday, October 4 from 3 to 6 p.m. as we broadcast live from the Aviation Expo 2025 at the School of Aviation. Get ready for the ultimate aviation experience. Come see thrilling aircraft displays, cutting-edge technology, and meet industry experts shaping the future of flight. From aviation professionals to curious explorers, there's something for everyone. Don't miss this high-flying event. Mark your calendars for October 4 at Tinson Pen Aerodrome, where Jamaica's skies come alive. Tune in to Outside with Pepita, Saturday, October 4 from 3 to 6 p.m. It's the Aviation Expo 2025 at the School of Aviation. Catch us live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, or stay tuned to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the School of Aviation.
It's the weekend and the youth are taking over the airwaves. Yes, we are the new voices and faces of the Talk Up You radio show. The voice of the Jamaican youth right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
After a busy week of work and school, come unwind with Jamaica's #1 youth radio show.
We're bringing you entertainment, fun facts, and staying true to youth development and advocacy.
Catch the action each and every Saturday as we roll out buzzy segments. What say you?
Youth for chat,
life skills,
global connect,
and
Bust the Youth.
That's the Talk Up Youth radio show, Saturdays 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth. Don't miss it.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. We're taking your calls now. Papa Nana, you're up first. Good evening.
Hi, Papa Nana.
Good evening, Ricardo. Good evening, Prof.
How you do, Papa Nana?
Me not there, you know, say once me hear your voice, there is hope.
Hope, life, and all them good things. Yeah, talk to us. What's going on?
Right. When me know the time short, I want to ask you a question because you know you're very intelligent. Don't you drive?
Yes, yes, I drive. I drive, yeah, man.
Yes. When do you change a bulb?
A bulb?
Yes.
In the vehicle?
Yes.
When the mechanic say it must change.
When the mechanic say it must change?
No, me change the bulb, but Papa Nana, me not change bulb. A long time, I do something there now.
All right, let me help you out.
Tell me.
You know when I change a bulb, when I used to drive? When the bulb blow.
Oh. No, man. You don't change sometime on the bulb blow, sometime on the fuse blow. I used to have one car, I used to have to keep fuse in a car. Every time I go, I have to change the fuse, the little thing had a problem. So sometime under the bulb blow, the fuse blows. So all right, when the bulb blow, we change the bulb. Yes.
So how can a policeman charge you for a bulb that you don't have, like, because it blow? Now when the bulb blow, you change it.
So the policeman say a bulb never did, says that the bulb didn't, the bulb was working, and I don't know. You have to call the policeman and let us ask him.
No, Prof. Give me better answer than that. Because
but I wouldn't know that because you're going, it's like a school challenge with me depon, and I don't know what you're talking about. So you say the policeman charge somebody.
Exactly. Make a point, Papa Nana.
So tell us what happened.
The bulb was out?
Yes. If a policeman charge you because your bulb blow,
the bulb blow.
How can him charge you? You're not supposed to warn you and tell you say your bulb blow, and if he catch you back with the bulb will blow, then he can prosecute you.
But how can you prosecute somebody for a blow bulb?
Isn't there a ticket for something like that? Like they say, your light not.
No matter whether a ticket or not, it should be a warning because you cannot change your bulb without it blow.
Then how do you decide how many times you give a warning?
You have to check your vehicle, do you know?
Then, you mean how you decide?
So because everybody who gets stopped, hold on, no, everybody who gets stopped with a blown bulb, you give them a warning.
How you mean?
No, sir.
Then what would be the point? What would be the point?
Him go down the road and don't bother change it, and the next police give him a warning.
And the next police stop him and give him a next warning, and the next police stop him and give him a next warning. What is the point?
Well,
Papa Nana, some people unruly bad, you know.
Sometimes it's difficult to do.
No, listen to me. Hear me. Hold on, hear me.
Yeah.
Damien stopped me Harbour View. I'm a bulb blow, and it's a Ricardo, me give you a warning. Yeah. Drive go down a Winner Road, Professor stop me, and she say a bulb blow, me give you a warning.
Yeah.
Me drive go down a Port Royal, one another police stop me and say, Ricardo, me give you a warning.
I'm not
change the bulb, so what is the point? What would be the point?
So listen to me. Let me ask you something now. So in other words then, you would just have to just keep and change the bulb whether it blow or not?
No.
You know only bulb blow.
If how often the bulb bag blow?
You not blow all the time.
I understand, you know. Anyway, leave off of that.
All right, yes.
You don't really reach anywhere with it. Me want to find out something from Mr. Golding. If he believes that Mr. Golding don't have common sense, Mr. Holness must go meet with him and constitutional thing here when Mr. Holness is not a legally minded person.
No.
What is wrong with Mr. Holness telling him to go meet the justice, the constitutional minister? What is wrong with that?
No, I think Mr. Golding is correct in this instance. Because the things that need to be addressed, both the leaders need to come to an agreement on the way forward.
Yes.
They need to sit in a room and decide, just like Bruce Golding and Portia Simpson Miller did, and they weren't legal minds, and they came to an agreement on the Charter of Rights. So I think Mr. Golding is correct that the two leaders should meet.
So you is of the opinion that Mr. Golding should have run a chance with a man like Mr. Golding, Mr. Holness is not a legally minded person. You think Mr. Holness should have run that chance?
What do you mean not a legally minded person? They're not drafting laws when they sit down to meet.
They're coming to agreement.
They're coming to agreement on what they need to do.
Yeah. How to work together. I remember in Papa Nana, our constitution is set up that the leader of the opposition is a part of the government of the country. They may not be in power, but they have to say. And worse with the kind of, the skew now we have 35-28. So the opposition will have a lot of say in some of the decisions. 2/3 majority.
No, that's a wrong approach, Papa Nana.
We have to have the consensus. We have to.
The only time we have achieved anything on the constitutional reform front is when the two leaders agree.
It is true.
Me no wrong with Mr. Holness. Me no not trust him, but nowhere with him. He's not a legally minded person. But I read nowhere we do know. So take care.
Papa Nana, enjoy the weekend. Take care of yourself. Good to hear from you. All right, take care.
Faithful, good evening.
Hi, Faithful. Hi.
Good evening, Professor. Good evening, Ricardo.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And a big shout out to my Aunt Ruby.
Yes, big up Aunt Ruby.
I feel it for the vice principal of Manchester. You can hear the earth in his voice. I hope that the young man could truly return. because I feel if you don't return, that they don't feel it so much.
She's the vice principal, Beth Abra. And also the aunt, because the aunt refuses to be, shown on record also because it is very stressful. So I think everybody in the family or from the different schools are under a lot of pressure. It's 1 week now,
And then some of us don't have any conscience, don't have any feeling. Or they say the worst thing, and they don't have any proof to something that they are saying, and they don't care who's hurting. And you can feel how much that lady hurt, and they say the worst thing on the internet because they know whatever they say on the internet, there's no accountability. You can't just say anything you want to say.
But Faithful, I tell people, if you're in a situation, you're going through something in Jamaica or anywhere in the world today, you don't read nothing on the internet. Take yourself off of it. If you have persons who are going to go on the internet and look, sometimes people make a comment which is giving you information, you don't read it because the internet will give your body come down and a mental breakdown because people say things, Ricardo, on the internet. Let me tell you, it's a different location. They are very open, they are cross, they challenge you, they accuse you, they literally hang you up on a pole somewhere. They don't care.
Yeah,
so you're right. True. Yes.
But I really feel for those parents and teachers. Finally, I pray and I trust God that they are really serious. For the sake of so much life that they could save, because I know if Hamas don't accept the deal, Israel will keep on bombing, going to fall by genocide and this and that. So I pray to God that it will be a deal that they would really accept and that they would work it out. And for peace sake, that peace will come to the region.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Faithful. Have a good weekend indeed.
Yeah,
thank you. Yes. And, when I regard that thing with Hamas, I'll tell you, if we live in this era to see something like that happen, it will be something revolutionary.
Yeah.
Believe me, yes.
William?
Hi, William. Hello.
Good evening, Ricardo. Good evening, Prof.
Yeah, how you do?
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 points here. It's the first point about the JUTC.
Mm-hmm.
You see, time to time we hear the minister come and tell us how much bus we get. But we cannot get bus back a bus and the same thing stand for a bus stop hours back a hours same way. Wednesday and Thursday you have this impaired lady in the Africa Center try to get a 47 people Lindos Road. I don't know what time she went there Wednesday, but yesterday she went there from 10 past 12. I know, so 3 o'clock the lady don't get a bus.
So the bus don't come or the bus come and she don't get on it?
It don't come none at all.
Oh.
When she go to the inspector, the last time she go about 2 o'clock, until last time we come 2:30, 3 o'clock, she have to leave, come back home.
Oh.
And right around if you go down, you have about 5 buses from downtown. We pass Liga and go up. And it's the same thing, anytime you go there, now the 12 bus going up. No, all these buses remove off of the road. Only God what happened. And we can hear nothing from the director, nobody. If you try to call JUTC, you're not getting through. The customer service line, it is out. Almost over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what happened. Nobody say anything. But the passenger is still suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And the other point, I was speaking to the gentleman from Water Commission.
Yes.
I already speak about East Portland, Union, Hectors, even those places. This place where I grew up, I know the whole of those places. But my problem, when we have rain and the amount of water will flowing go to the sea, what percent are we harvest? What we put in place to harvest this water, what we wasting when we get it?
And he was explaining some of that, William, because Delano Williams was telling us that they are moving some of the infrastructure, like the piping infrastructure that would collect some of that water, because they said that the water patterns, the rainfall patterns have changed. So where the catchments are and where those pipes are that would lead water into the reservoirs, they have to change up some of them now because the water falling in different locations. So they're trying to do some work to see if they can change and reroute it and trying. Me buy it because the road them dig up and them a dig up and pure NWC dig up everywhere.
I'm talking special in Portland where I'm talking where we have the drought now. Right? Water is there, but what we doing it? When the rain fall and the water we start to see, we put in any dam to catch these water, many of these water, we put in any dam.
He did speak about infrastructure being upgraded. So what we have to do, William, we have to listen now. We are going to have to wait. We are going to have to wait and see what comes in the future because those things take time.
I'm telling you, up in Eni, there's a huge tank. They always look over, used to stay up and fly kite. If you go there now, I think it might be empty. Let me say a huge tank, very big, large tank. That tank used to serve the whole of hectares over Scotland, Belcastle, Langwood, Mantinea, all about. What happened to it?
All right, William, when we get him back, we'll ask him and we'll see if we can get any more answers, all right?
Come on, we need some dam to harvest the water. Man. We can lower all the water for run Garcia and then we come with ball after.
All right, William. Thanks for the points. Take care of yourself. Okay. Have a good weekend. Yes. Big up yourself, Marigold. Big up yourself, Marianne Parish. Thanks for the greetings. Who's our call? We have another caller.
Agent, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Ricardo. Good evening, Prof.
Yes, good evening.
I've been listening and I heard Papa Nana just now. And I think you guys are not giving enough thought to what you were saying about you both drive, right?
Yes.
Right? You know that your reverse light on the back, the brake light, sometimes the brake light have a park light and the brake light in the same light, right? The same bulb, it's a double filament bulb. And there's the brake light and the park light in the same bulb. One aspect of it can blow and the next don't blow, and you don't know that it is blown. Maybe the police might be driving behind you and stop and see that your pressure brake and it didn't come up. Should the police give you a ticket? You can't know. I think the process should be, because these things can happen and you don't know. Give you a warning, yes, and record the warning. We have a central system at Elliston Road where you report to Elliston Road that this motorist has been warned for a tail light. It's not a broken tail light, it's a bulb that is blown. I might be coming in from Westmoreland in the night and one of my headlights blow because it's raining. What am I going to do? I can't get a bulb in the night. I have to come in. What would have happened? Just share your thoughts with me on that aspect of what Papa Nana was saying.
I'm listening to you, and I hear what Papa Nana is saying, but in a lot of ways.
No, but you guys are disagreeing.
Because we are saying at what point does the warning end? You get a warning. You're a citizen. You're a responsible citizen. You're gonna go and fix it. Fine. How do we know?
To fix it in the night.
No, but you're gonna go and fix it at some point. But how many persons drive around with blown bulb and things forever?
Ricardo gave a suggestion coming from Harborview, and one officer stopped you out there. And he give you a warning. By the time you get down the road, another one stop you and give you another warning. And by the time you reach down the road, another stop, you should give you another warning.
Yes, you turn off and go find a mechanic shop and fix it.
Where you can get a bulb.
Yes.
And you change the bulb yourself. You need to go to a mechanic to get the bulb chain or whatever. That's the kind of a process that doesn't necessarily happen just at the snap of a finger.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
So you think it best to record it, and then give a period of time to go get it changed?
No, well, give it 2-3 days.
Oh. No. Some places 20. I'm not going to agree with you on the 2-3 days. That is a long time. A bulb?
That's a suggestion.
A bulb?
Fine.
No, man.
24 hours, fine. I don't have a problem with that. But all I'm saying.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Stop the person
yes.
and give them a warning. The other thing I want to make, one other point. I saw the story about the Prime Minister meeting with the leader of the opposition on the constitutional matter. It's not the Prime Minister, it's not the leader of the opposition that called for this meeting. It is the Prime Minister that called for the meeting. And we're careful to watch his words or he frames it. He's not calling the Prime Minister to this meeting. The Prime Minister at the inauguration called him to this meeting. That's my first thought on that. The other thing I would suggest to the Prime Minister is if you meet with Mr. Golding, make sure everything that is said is recorded. I heard the Marlene Mallow quote in our parliamentary presentation. Played a clip of the leader of the opposition agreeing to the matters that are not entrenched in the Constitution we are going to leave those for the second phase, and we go ahead with what we can agree on at the first phase. And he copped out on it. And there are so many things that this man has changed his mind and his mouth on, that one would be foolhardy, and I dare say stupid, to just go to a meeting with this man without having mutual people who are in the sensible center participate in that meeting. And as a matter of fact, every meeting that he has with this man, if they are private, if they are not in the public domain, should have somebody else there, because he's going to change his mind when it suits him.
All right.
Yeah. You know, I've been reflecting on this, and I worried during the election campaign that it would have been hard to come back from where we went in that campaign.
Yeah, the campaign went far and wide, very deep.
And I think I understand what Agent is saying, because there's a way in which this process is going to require the Prime Minister to be extremely magnanimous. This is a man who has been lied about, viciously attacked, his wife, his children, and I suppose leadership requires you to rise above it, but I get the point that people might think he shouldn't be so trusting. But here's how I respond to that. We're going to have to find a middle ground.
Indeed. For the way forward on behalf of the country. Definitely.
It can't move forward unless there's a middle ground. Right? Yeah.
Well, but I think what Agent is saying is that some care will have to be taken to ensure that, what is done or what is said in that meeting is protected, and that there is evidence of any decisions that are taken together.
And we're at a point now where I don't know if I've ever in my lifetime seen the two leaders, the Prime Minister and the opposition leader. I mean, certainly there might have been the period in the 80s. I mean, I don't know that period, But certainly since I've been conscious about politics, where it seems that there's such, let me just say it, hatred. It seems that there are people who hate Andrew Holness.
The stakes were very high in the last election, I think. And there are a lot of deep cuts.
Right. I think it went too far. And the truth is, he's Prime Minister, but blood running in vein. He's a human being.
We are out of time, Ricardo.
Yeah. So I hear your Agent, but as I say, we have to go find a middle ground.
On behalf of the country.
On
behalf of the country.
He cannot be trusted. He cannot be trusted with nothing.
We have to leave it there, Agent. We're out of time. Thank you. Have a good weekend, indeed.
That's all the time we have. Thank you to the team who made this possible. Thank you all so much, our callers, contributors, YouTubers. Thank you. Prof, it was nice having you back in studio.
And it was nice being back in studio. The YouTubers are biting. People may drive long before someone born. You'd be surprised. I can do mechanic work. I know how to go on a car. I used to change the fuse them for my car. So I'm not taking them on. I'm not taking them on. I'm not ignoring them because they talk all kind of foolishness. I'm not taking them on. But I know more about cars than some. I've forgotten more about cars than some people are learning. So I'm not taking them on. People need to change them bulb and check them car before them leave them yard.
I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Professor Donna Hope.
Good evening.
With us.
Tune in to Outside with Pepita on Saturday, October 4 from 3 to 6 p.m. as we broadcast live from the Aviation Expo 2025 at the School of Aviation. Get ready for the ultimate aviation experience. Come see thrilling aircraft displays, cutting-edge technology, and meet industry experts shaping the future of flight. From aviation professionals to curious explorers, there's something for everyone. Don't miss this high-flying event. Mark your calendars for October 4 at Tinson Penn Aerodrome, where Jamaica's skies come alive. Tune in to Outside with Pepita, Saturday, October 4 from 3 to 6 p.m. It's the Aviation Expo 2025 at the School of Aviation. Catch us live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, or stay tuned to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the School of Aviation.
Not a mercy. This one is very classic. Dedicated to all the schoolers who are taking it.
If you've ever struggled to pass an exam, then you'll know that students today are under great pressure to get good grades and secure qualification needed to move on to higher education. The problem is that too many students